Welcome to a big compilation of facts. 252 random facts that will blow your mind. Black holes form when a massive star reaches the end of its life and collapses under its own gravitational pull, resulting in an object so dense that even light cannot escape. At the center of a black hole is the singularity, a point of infinite density where the known laws of physics break down, leading to unresolved mysteries in modern science. The event horizon, often described as the point of no return, marks the boundary of a black hole. Once anything crosses this boundary, it is inevitably pulled into the black hole. Number 2. In 1974, Stephen Hawking proposed the concept of Hawking radiation, which suggests that black holes emit radiation and could eventually evaporate over time. Surprisingly, black holes aren't just destructive forces. They may play a role in galaxy formation, as many galaxies, including our own Milky Way, are believed to have supermassive black holes at their centers. Number 3. Modern inventions that explore space include the Hubble Space Telescope, which has been providing breathtaking images of distant galaxies since 1990. Space probes like Voyager 1 and 2, launched in 1977, continue to travel beyond our solar system, offering data about interstellar space. SpaceX's reusable rockets, introduced by Elon Musk's company, are revolutionizing space travel by significantly reducing costs. Additionally, the James Webb Space Telescope, set to surpass Hubble, promises to uncover even more mysteries of the universe, especially in areas like the formation of early stars and galaxies. Number 4. Theories of space, such as Einstein's theory of general relativity, describe how massive objects warp the fabric of space-time, explaining phenomena like gravity and the bending of light near massive stars. On a smaller scale, quantum mechanics explores the behavior of particles at the subatomic level, hinting that the fabric of space itself may be composed of tiny quantum foam. Number 5. Black holes, once only theoretical, are now being photographed thanks to the Event Horizon Telescope, which captured the first image of a black hole in 2019. Time behaves differently around black holes. The closer one gets, the slower time appears to move due to extreme gravitational forces, a phenomenon predicted by relativity. Wormholes, often theorized in science fiction, may be related to black holes. They could act as shortcuts through space-time, though no evidence of them has been found. Number 6. In space, dark matter and dark energy make up approximately 95% of the universe, with only 5% being the matter we can see. Dark matter, invisible and undetectable directly, influences galaxies' shapes and rotation. Meanwhile, dark energy drives the accelerated expansion of the universe. The Big Bang Theory, the leading explanation of the universe's origin, suggests the cosmos began as a singularity nearly 13.8 billion years ago, rapidly expanding into the vast space we observe today. Number 7. Space elevators, a once futuristic concept, are being researched for future use. These would involve cables stretching from Earth into space, allowing efficient transport of materials without rockets. Satellites have become essential components of modern life, providing communication, weather data, and GPS. One of the biggest challenges in space exploration remains the vast distances between objects. Even traveling at the speed of light, it would take over 4 years to reach the closest star to Earth, Proxima Centauri. Number 8. The International Space Station, ISS, orbiting Earth since 1998, serves as a laboratory for studying the effects of long-term space travel on the human body. Mars rovers like Curiosity and Perseverance are paving the way for human exploration of Mars, analyzing the planet's geology and searching for signs of past life. asteroid mining could become a future industry, with companies eyeing resources like water, platinum, and gold on near-Earth asteroids. Number 9. The concept of multiverses suggests that our universe might be just one of many, each with different physical laws and constants. Another interesting theory is cosmic inflation, which suggests that the universe underwent a rapid expansion just fractions of a second after the Big Bang. The search for exoplanets, planets outside our solar system, has revealed thousands of candidates, some of which may have the conditions necessary for life. Spacesuits worn by astronauts are marvels of engineering, designed to protect humans from the harsh environment of space, including extreme temperatures and lack of atmosphere. Number 10. The search for extraterrestrial life includes efforts like the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Program, which listens for signals from alien civilizations. The Kuiper Belt, a region beyond Neptune, contains icy bodies and dwarf planets, including Pluto. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time first detected in 2015, are caused by massive cosmic events like black hole collisions and offer new ways to study the universe. Finally, space junk, debris from old satellites and defunct spacecraft, poses a growing threat to future space missions and communications networks. Number 11. Some of the most dangerous plants on Earth are not just a threat to animals, but to humans as well. For example, the castor bean plant, Ricinus communis, produces ricin, one of the most toxic substances known to science. Just a few micrograms of ricin can be fatal to a human if ingested. Another perilous plant is the water hemlock, cicuta, which can cause violent seizures and death when consumed due to its neurotoxins. Number 12. The manchineel tree, Hippomane mancinella, often found in the Caribbean and Florida, produces a sap so toxic that contact with skin can cause blistering, and even standing beneath the tree in the rain can lead to severe skin irritation. Perhaps one of the most terrifying plants is oleander, Nerium oleander, widely planted as a decorative shrub, yet every part of the plant is highly toxic if ingested, causing severe cardiac issues. Number 13. When it comes to towering giants, the coast redwood, Sequoia sempervirens, holds the title for the tallest trees in the world. These trees, found along the coast of California, can grow over 380 feet tall, the height of a 35-story building. The largest individual tree by volume, however, is General Sherman, a giant sequoia in California's Sequoia National Park, standing at 275 feet tall and with a trunk that holds an estimated 52,500 cubic feet of wood. Number 14. The deepest plant discovered growing in the ocean is Zostera marina, commonly known as eelgrass, which has been found growing at depths of up to 60 meters, 200 feet. This plant plays a crucial role in the marine ecosystem, providing habitat for many marine animals and helping to stabilize the sea floor. Number 15. In Australia, the Gympie Gympie plant, Dendrocnide moroides, is infamous for its sting, which can cause excruciating pain lasting for weeks or even months. Its tiny needle-like hairs inject a neurotoxin into the skin, making it one of the most painful plants to encounter. The angel's trumpet, Brugmansia, is both beautiful and deadly, containing potent alkaloids that can cause hallucinations, paralysis, and death if ingested. Number 16. The Amazon rainforest is home to some of the largest and oldest trees, including the kapok tree, Ceiba pentandra, which can reach heights of 200 feet. The rainforest's dense canopy contains countless species, making it one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. Another remarkable fact is that the bamboo plant holds the record for the fastest growing plant, with some species capable of growing up to 35 inches in a single day. Number 17. Venus flytraps, Dionea muscipula, are among the most fascinating plants due to their ability to trap and digest insects. But contrary to popular belief, they pose no threat to humans. Belladonna, Atropa belladonna, also known as deadly nightshade, is another plant steeped in lethal history. Just a few berries can kill an adult, and it was once used in cosmetics despite its toxic properties. Number 18. Cheetahs are known for being the fastest land animals, capable of reaching speeds of 60 to 70 miles per hour in short bursts of 20 to 30 seconds. Their acceleration is as quick as a sports car, reaching 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds. What sets cheetahs apart from other big cats is their non-retractable claws, which provide them with extra grip during their high-speed chases. Despite their speed, cheetahs are vulnerable to other predators, often losing their kills to lions, hyenas, or leopards. Number 19. Lions are the only big cats that live in social groups called prides, typically consisting of related females, their cubs, and a small number of males. Male lions are recognizable by their impressive manes, which not only serve to protect their necks during fights, but are also a sign of fitness. The darker and fuller the mane, the more attractive the male is to females. Although lions are known as the king of the jungle, they actually inhabit savannas and grasslands, not jungles. Number 20. Rhinoceroses, often referred to simply as rhinos, are some of the largest land mammals, second only to elephants in size. There are 5 species of rhinos, but all are under threat due to poaching for their horns, which are mistakenly believed to have medicinal properties. Rhino horns are made of keratin, the same material found in human hair and nails. Despite their size, rhinos can charge at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, and their thick skin, which can be 2 inches thick in some areas, acts as natural armor. Number 21. Chameleons are renowned for their ability to change color, but this trait is primarily used for communication and temperature regulation rather than camouflage. Chameleons also have incredibly long, sticky tongues, which they use to catch prey at lightning speed, sometimes extending to twice the length of their body in less than a second. Their eyes can move independently of each other, giving them a full 360-degree field of vision. Number 22. Chameleons, while famous for their color-changing ability, can also compress and elongate their bodies to mimic the shape of their surroundings, providing them with an additional layer of camouflage. These reptiles also have zygodactylous feet, meaning 2 toes point forward and 2 point backward, which helps them maintain a strong grip on branches. Chameleons are oviparous, meaning they lay eggs, and the incubation period can vary widely from species to species, lasting anywhere from a few weeks to several months, depending on environmental conditions. Number 23. Geckos are remarkable for their adhesive toes, which allow them to climb smooth surfaces, including walls and ceilings. This ability is due to microscopic hair-like structures called setae on their toes, which interact with surfaces at a molecular level. Some species of geckos can shed their tails when threatened by predators, a process known as autotomy. The lost tail will eventually regenerate, though it may not look exactly the same as the original. Number 24. The corpse flower, Amorphophallus titanum, is one of the largest and smelliest flowers in the world. Native to the rainforests of Sumatra, it emits a strong odor of rotting flesh to attract pollinators like beetles and flies. Despite its unpleasant smell, it is a rare and remarkable plant that only blooms for a short period every few years. Number 25. The dragon's blood tree, Dracaena cinnabari, native to the Socotra archipelago in Yemen, is another exotic wonder with an ancient reputation. Its umbrella-like canopy and thick trunk make it visually striking, but its real fame comes from its blood-red sap, which has been used for centuries in medicine, dyes, and even rituals. The sap is still collected today and has antibacterial properties. The tree's unique shape helps it survive in the arid, rocky environment by maximizing shade for its roots and minimizing water loss. The Socotra archipelago, where this tree is found, is sometimes referred to as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean due to its rich biodiversity and the many species found nowhere else on Earth. The dragon's blood tree is a symbol of resilience and adaptation, having survived in a harsh, dry climate for centuries. However, like many exotic plants, it faces threats from climate change and human activity, and conservationists are working to ensure its survival in the wild. Number 26. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the late 18th century in Britain, was one of the most transformative periods in human history. It marked a shift from agrarian economies to industrialized urban centers, driven by innovations such as the steam engine, mechanized textile production, and advancements in iron smelting. The steam engine, improved by James Watt, became the driving force behind factories, railways, and ships, revolutionizing transportation and manufacturing. This period also saw the rise of the factory system, where large numbers of workers gathered under one roof to operate machines, a stark contrast to the previous cottage industries where goods were produced at home. Textile production was one of the first industries to be transformed, with inventions like the spinning jenny and power loom dramatically increasing output and reducing labor costs. The Industrial Revolution also had profound social impacts, leading to the growth of cities as people moved from rural areas in search of work. While it brought economic growth and innovation, it also led to poor working conditions, long hours, and child labor, prompting the eventual rise of labor movements and reforms to protect workers. Its legacy still shapes modern industrial practices and urban life today. Number 27. Flags are powerful symbols that represent the identity and values of nations, and some of them have fascinating histories. The United States flag, for instance, has 13 stripes representing the original 13 colonies and 50 stars for each state in the Union. The current design with 50 stars was created in 1959 after Alaska and Hawaii joined the Union, but the basic elements of stars and stripes have remained since 1777. Over the years, the U.S. flag has undergone 27 different changes in its design. It's one of the most recognizable symbols in the world, often flown on national holidays like Independence Day, and is a common sight in protests, political events, and cultural displays. Number 28. The United Kingdom's Union. Jack is a blend of three older flags: the Red Cross of St. George for England, the White Diagonal Cross of St. Andrew for Scotland, and the Red Diagonal Cross of St. Patrick for Ireland. The flag came into existence in 1801 after the Act of Union, which merged Great Britain and Ireland into a single entity. The design is notable for its asymmetry, as the positioning of the different crosses makes the flag look different when flown upside down, a fact that is sometimes used to signal distress. Number 29. The flag of Japan, known as the Nishoki or Sunmark flag, is one of the simplest yet most recognizable in the world. It features a red circle symbolizing the sun, which has deep cultural and historical significance in Japan, as the country is often called the land of the rising sun. This flag has been used for centuries, though its modern version was officially adopted in 1870 during the Meiji Restoration. The minimalist design reflects the country's reverence for simplicity and nature, and the sun motif is tied to Japan's ancient mythology, where the emperor is said to be a descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu. Number 30. The flag of Brazil stands out for its vibrant green, yellow, and blue colors, each with specific meaning. The green represents the lush forests of Brazil, while the yellow symbolizes the country's wealth in gold and natural resources. The blue circle with white stars in the center reflects the night sky over Rio de Janeiro as seen on November 15, 1889, the day Brazil became a republic. The stars on the flag represent the Brazilian states, and the banner across the blue circle carries the national motto, Ordem e Progresso, order and progress. The flag's design was inspired by both the national coat of arms and astronomical elements. Number 31. The flag of Nepal is unique as the only national flag that is not rectangular or square. It is made up of two stacked triangles representing the Himalayan mountains and the two major religions in Nepal, Hinduism and Buddhism. The sun and moon on the flag symbolize the hope that Nepal will last as long as these celestial bodies. The current design was officially adopted in 1962, although its origins date back centuries. Nepal's flag symbolizes its resilience as a nation nestled in the Himalayas, surviving between giants like China and India. Number 32. Switzerland, a small landlocked country in Europe, is known for its policy of neutrality, which has kept it out of both world wars and many other conflicts. It has a long tradition of political neutrality and hosts numerous international organizations, including the United Nations and the Red Cross. Switzerland is also famous for its precision in crafting luxury goods, especially watches, and its world-renowned financial system. Despite its small size, Switzerland is made up of 4 linguistic and cultural regions: German, French, Italian, and Romansh, and it has a highly decentralized government structure that gives considerable power to its cantons, states. Number 33. Australia is both a country and a continent, known for its vast and unique wildlife, including kangaroos, koalas, and the world's deadliest snake, the inland taipan. It is also home to the Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral reef system in the world, stretching over 1,400 miles along the Queensland coast. Australia has a deep indigenous history, with Aboriginal cultures dating back over 65,000 years. The Sydney Opera House, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the country's most iconic landmarks, famous for its distinctive architectural design. Australia's cities, including Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, frequently rank among the most livable in the world. Number 34. The Great Wall of China is one of the most iconic structures in human history, stretching over 13,000 miles. Initially constructed to protect China from northern invaders, the wall was built over several dynasties, with most of the current structure dating back to the Ming Dynasty, 1368-1644. Contrary to popular belief, the wall is not a single continuous structure, but a series of walls, trenches, and natural barriers like rivers. The labor force behind its construction included soldiers, peasants, and prisoners. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of China's enduring strength and unity. Number 35. The Colosseum in Rome, Italy, is one of the greatest architectural feats of ancient Rome, built between 70–80 AD. Originally known as the Flavian Amphitheater, it could hold up to 50,000 spectators and was used for gladiatorial contests, public spectacles, and even mock sea battles. The Colosseum is an engineering marvel with its complex system of vaults and arches. It also had a retractable awning called the Velarium to protect spectators from the sun. Though damaged by earthquakes and stone robbers, the Colosseum remains a powerful symbol of Rome's grandeur and resilience. Number 36. Machu Picchu, an ancient Incan city in Peru, was rediscovered by American explorer Hiram Bingham in 1911, although local inhabitants had known about it for centuries. Built around 1450, this lost city of the Incas sits nearly 8,000 feet above sea level in the Andes. It's made of expertly carved stone blocks that fit together without mortar, a technique called ashlar masonry, which has allowed the structures to withstand centuries of earthquakes. Scholars believe it may have served as a royal estate or a religious site, but its true purpose remains a mystery. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Number 37, the Taj Mahal, located in Agra, India, is considered one of the most beautiful buildings ever created. Built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the mid-17th century as a mausoleum for his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal, it's famed for its white marble facade, intricate inlay work, and perfectly symmetrical design. The entire structure is an example of Mughal architecture, which combines Islamic, Persian, Ottoman, and Indian influences. Legend has it that after its completion, Shah Jahan planned to build a matching black Taj Mahal for himself, but he was overthrown by his son before that could happen. The Taj Mahal is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of eternal love. Number 39. Plato, a student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle, is one of the foundational figures in Western philosophy. Born around 428 BC, Plato founded the Academy in Athens, one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. He is best known for his dialogues, such as The Republic, where he explores justice, the ideal state, and the philosopher-king concept. Plato's famous theory of forms argues that the material world is only a shadow of a higher, unchanging reality. His works have shaped philosophical thought for centuries and continue to be studied widely today. Number 40. Confucius, 551-479 BC, was a Chinese philosopher whose teachings form the basis of Confucianism, a system of thought that influenced Chinese culture for millennia. Confucius emphasized personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships, justice, and sincerity. His famous concept of filial piety, the respect for one's parents and ancestors, became a cornerstone of Chinese society. Confucius also advocated for education and believed that individuals could improve themselves through learning and moral cultivation. His sayings were later compiled by his disciples into the Analects, a collection that continues to influence East Asian culture and thought. Number 41. Aristotle, 384-322 BC, a student of Plato and tutor to Alexander the Great, is one of the most influential philosophers in history. Aristotle made vast contributions to many fields, including logic, biology, ethics, politics, and metaphysics. He is known for developing formal logic, particularly syllogism, and for advocating a golden mean in ethics, suggesting that virtue lies between extremes. Unlike Plato, who believed in a separate realm of ideal forms, Aristotle emphasized empirical observation and the study of the natural world. His work laid the groundwork for the scientific method, and he remains a towering figure in both Western philosophy and science. Number 42. The printing press, invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century, revolutionized communication and knowledge dissemination in Europe. Before its invention, books were laboriously copied by hand, making them expensive and rare. Gutenberg's press, which used movable type, drastically reduced the cost of producing books and allowed for the mass production of literature. The Gutenberg Bible, printed in the 1450s, is considered one of the first major books produced using this technology. The printing press is credited with spreading literacy, facilitating the Renaissance, and contributing to the Reformation, by enabling the wide distribution of Martin Luther's writings. Number 43. The invention of the light bulb by Thomas Edison in 1879 was a groundbreaking moment in modern technology. Although Edison was not the only one working on electric light, his version of the incandescent light bulb was the most practical and long-lasting at the time. The light bulb revolutionized everyday life by extending the workday and improving safety and convenience at home and in cities. Edison's work laid the foundation for the development of electric power systems, and his company eventually became General Electric, one of the largest multinational conglomerates in the world. Number 44. The creation of the internet in the late 20th century was arguably the most transformative technological advancement of the modern era. Its development began in the 1960s with ARPANET, a project funded by the U.S. Department of Defense. In 1989, British computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, enabling information to be shared globally through hypertext. The internet has revolutionized every aspect of life, from communication to education, commerce, and entertainment. Today, more than 4.5 billion people use the internet, and it continues to evolve rapidly with advances in areas like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and 5G technology. Number 45. Artificial intelligence, AI, once a concept relegated to science fiction, is now one of the most exciting and rapidly developing areas of technology. AI systems, which can simulate human intelligence by learning from data, are already transforming industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation. Machine learning, a subset of AI, allows computers to improve their performance over time without explicit programming, and it's behind technologies like speech recognition, image analysis, and personalized recommendations. Deep learning, a more advanced form of machine learning, has made significant strides in areas like natural language processing and computer vision, opening up new possibilities for AI-driven innovations in the future. Number 46. The smartphone, which began with devices like the iPhone in 2007, has revolutionized how humans interact with technology and each other. The smartphone combines telephony, computing, and internet access in a single portable device, transforming daily life. With powerful processors, high-resolution cameras, and an ever-growing array of apps, smartphones have become essential tools for communication, navigation, photography, entertainment, and even health monitoring. They have fundamentally changed global society by enabling real-time connectivity across vast distances, creating new business models, and fostering the rise of social media, e-commerce, and mobile computing. Number 47. Newton's first law of motion, often called the law of inertia, states that an object at rest will stay at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. This fundamental principle laid the foundation for classical mechanics and explains why seatbelts are necessary in cars. Without them, your body would continue moving forward in a collision even if the car stops suddenly. Number 48. The law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. This principle applies to everything from how cars burn fuel to move to the energy transformations occurring in plants during photosynthesis. The total amount of energy in a closed system remains constant, a concept that is central to thermodynamics and energy management. Number 49. Boyle's law relates the pressure and volume of a gas at constant temperature. It states that pressure and volume are inversely proportional, meaning if the volume of a gas decreases, its pressure increases, and vice versa. This law is crucial in understanding how lungs work during breathing, as well as in the design of engines and other gas-operated systems. Number 50. The second law of thermodynamics introduces the concept of entropy, stating that the total entropy or disorder of an isolated system can never decrease over time. It explains why energy tends to disperse, and systems naturally evolve toward thermodynamic equilibrium, where entropy is maximized. This law explains why heat flows from hot to cold and underpins much of the study of energy systems and engines. Let's begin with the oldest living organism in the world. Now, this isn't a single tree or a coral reef, but rather an interconnected clonal colony of quaking aspen trees named Pando, located in the Fish Lake National Forest in Utah. Pando, which means "I spread" in Latin, spans over 100 acres and consists of around 47,000 genetically identical trees, all sharing the same root system. Despite looking like a forest of individual trees, they are all part of one enormous organism. Scientists estimate that Pando is around 80,000 years old, making it one of the oldest living things on Earth. It survived multiple ice ages, wildfires, and other natural disasters, constantly regenerating by sending up new shoots from its vast root network. Its root system is so extensive and resilient that even if individual trees die off due to disease, drought, or old age, new trees will continue to sprout from the same root structure. Sadly, due to climate change and human interference, Pando is now under threat as it struggles to produce new growth fast enough to replace dying trees. The future of this living giant is uncertain, despite its ancient resilience. Still, it stands today as a testament to the persistence of life and the interconnectedness of ecosystems. The fact that Pando could live so long and remain largely unknown outside of scientific circles until relatively recently is a reflection of how much there is still to learn about Earth's natural wonders. Number 2. The human brain is often considered the most complex structure in the known universe, and for good reason. On average, the brain weighs about 3 pounds, 1.4 kilograms, but contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of other neurons, creating a vast network of trillions of connections known as synapses. The brain's memory capacity is virtually unlimited, with estimates ranging from 2.5 petabytes to over 100 terabytes. To put that in perspective, that's roughly equivalent to 3 million hours of television shows, or more than perform complex cognitive tasks like problem solving, creativity, and abstract thinking. Moreover, the brain's plasticity allows it to rewire itself throughout your lifetime, adapting to new experiences and learning new skills. This ability to change and grow, even in adulthood, is why people can recover from brain injuries, relearn lost functions, and continue developing intellectually into old age. However, we still don't fully understand how the brain works. Despite advancements in neuroscience, many of the brain's functions remain a mystery, particularly how consciousness arises from mere biological processes. Scientists believe unlocking more secrets of the brain could revolutionize fields from artificial intelligence to medicine. Number 3. Most people are aware that the Mariana Trench is the deepest part of Earth's oceans, but few grasp the scale and mystery of this otherworldly place. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench plunges to a depth of around 36,000 feet, 11,000 meters, at its deepest point, known as Challenger Deep. If Mount Everest were placed at the bottom of the trench, its peak would still be over 7,000 feet, 2,100 meters, underwater. The pressure at these depths is more than 1,000 times greater than at sea level, equivalent to having the weight of 50 jumbo jets bearing down on a single human body. Yet life thrives here in the form of bizarre, hardy creatures that defy logic. In 2012, director James Cameron became one of the first humans to visit Challenger Deep in a solo submersible dive, spending several hours exploring the pitch-black alien environment. But despite this achievement, we've barely scratched the surface of understanding the trench. In fact, more humans have walked on the moon than have visited the Mariana Trench, and less than 5% of the world's oceans have been explored in any detail. Every expedition to the trench brings back new and unexpected discoveries, such as gigantic amoeba-like organisms and shrimp-like creatures that survive on nothing but hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Some scientists even hypothesize that the trench's extreme environment could harbor clues about life's origins on Earth, or potentially even life on other planets. Number 4. DNA, the molecular blueprint of life, is one of the most compact and efficient information storage systems known to science. A single human cell contains about 6 feet, 2 meters of DNA coiled up tightly in its nucleus, yet it manages to carry all the genetic instructions needed to build and maintain a complete organism. If you were to unravel all the DNA in all the cells of a human body, it would stretch for about 67 billion miles, enough to reach Pluto and back 10 times. What's even more impressive is the data density of DNA. Each molecule can store an estimated 215 petabytes of information per gram, far surpassing the data storage capacity of modern hard drives. That's enough to hold 200 million full-length movies, or more than the combined data in all the world's data centers. Scientists have even begun experimenting with DNA as a potential solution for future data storage needs. In 2012, researchers encoded a 53,000-word book in DNA and successfully retrieved it with 100% accuracy, demonstrating the incredible potential of this natural storage medium. DNA storage could one day revolutionize the way we archive vast amounts of data, offering a more durable and compact solution than current technologies. Beyond its data storing prowess, DNA also carries the instructions that guide the development and functioning of every living organism. What's remarkable is that these instructions are written in a genetic language shared by nearly all life on Earth, a testament to the interconnectedness of life through billions of years of evolution. Number 5. One of the most astounding creatures in the natural world is the Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish. Unlike most organisms that follow a set life cycle, birth, maturation, reproduction, and death, this jellyfish can essentially reverse its aging process, potentially living forever under the right conditions. When faced with physical damage, starvation, or environmental stress, the jellyfish can revert its cells to an earlier stage of development, transforming from an adult back into its juvenile polyp form. This process, called transdifferentiation, allows the jellyfish to start its life cycle anew, bypassing death. It's as if a butterfly could turn back into a caterpillar. This cycle can theoretically continue indefinitely, meaning the jellyfish could avoid natural death entirely, although they are still susceptible to disease or predation. While researchers are studying the Turritopsis dohrnii for potential insights into human aging and regeneration, the mechanisms behind its incredible ability are still not fully understood. It's as close to biological immortality as any creature has achieved on Earth, sparking curiosity about the potential applications of this phenomenon in fields like medicine and anti-aging science. However, due to its small size and deep-sea habitat, the jellyfish remains a mystery, offering yet another example of how much remains to be discovered about life in Earth's oceans. Number 6. Far beyond our solar system lies a planet called HD 189733b, and it's not a place you'd want to visit. The weather on this giant exoplanet, located 63 light-years away, is unimaginably brutal. On this alien world, it rains glass. Yes, Glass, but not in the way you might imagine. Winds on HD 189733b reach speeds of up to 5,400 miles per hour, 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. These winds drive tiny particles of molten glass sideways, shredding anything in their path. The planet's extreme weather and sapphire blue appearance might look beautiful from afar, but it's truly a nightmare up close. Its scorching temperatures, reaching over 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit, 930 degrees Celsius, and razor-sharp storms make it one of the most hostile places we've ever discovered. Number 7. If survival is a game, tardigrades have it mastered. Known as water bears or moss piglets, these microscopic creatures are nearly indestructible. Tardigrades can withstand conditions that would obliterate most life forms. They've been known to survive temperatures as low as minus 200 degrees Celsius and as high as 150 degrees Celsius. But their superpowers don't stop there. They can also survive extreme radiation, the vacuum of space, and pressure levels found in the deepest parts of the ocean. When faced with unfavorable conditions, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis, in which they dry out and essentially suspend their metabolism. In this state, they can survive for decades, waiting for better conditions to return to life. Scientists have even sent tardigrades into space, where they survived exposure to cosmic radiation and the vacuum of space. Their resilience makes them some of the most fascinating and mysterious creatures on Earth. Number 8. Sloths, famous for their incredibly slow movement, have another surprising superpower. They can hold their breath longer than dolphins. While dolphins can hold their breath for around 10 minutes, sloths can go without breathing for up to 40 minutes. This impressive ability is due to their low metabolic rate, which means their bodies use up oxygen very slowly. Sloths live a relaxed lifestyle, sleeping up to 20 hours a day and moving so slowly that algae can grow on their fur. Their leisurely pace of life is a survival strategy. By moving slowly and spending most of their time in trees, they avoid attracting the attention of predators. Despite their slowness, their breath-holding ability makes them remarkably adapted to their environment, especially when they occasionally take a dip in water. Number 9. You might not know it, but the human body actually glows. It just does so at a level that's invisible to the naked eye. All living creatures emit a faint amount of light as a result of biochemical reactions within their cells, a process known as biophoton emission. This light is about 1,000 times less intense than what we can perceive, which is why we don't notice it. Japanese researchers were able to capture images of this faint glow using ultra-sensitive cameras, discovering that the human body emits the most light around the face, especially in the afternoon. Interestingly, this glow fluctuates with our biological rhythms. While we can't see this bioluminescence, it's a fascinating reminder that our bodies are constantly performing complex biochemical processes that are invisible to us. Number 10. The human brain is often described as the most complex structure in the universe, and one mind-boggling fact underscores this. The brain contains about 86 billion neurons, each connected to up to 10,000 other neurons. This means there are around 100 trillion synapses in the human brain. To put that into perspective, there are an estimated 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. In other words, your brain contains more neural connections than there are stars in our entire galaxy. These connections allow the brain to process and transmit vast amounts of information, making it capable of feats such as learning, memory, and complex thought. Despite its complexity, the brain weighs just about 3 pounds, 1.4 kilograms, yet it uses up around 20% of the body's total energy. Number 11. The human stomach is incredibly tough, but it's also delicate. Every day, it's exposed to hydrochloric acid, a substance so powerful it could dissolve metal. To prevent the stomach from digesting itself, the body produces a protective mucus layer that coats the stomach lining. However, this isn't enough on its own. The cells lining your stomach are replaced about every 3 to 5 days to keep it functioning safely. Without this constant renewal, the stomach's acids would eventually erode the lining, causing ulcers and other damage. This rapid regeneration is a remarkable example of the body's self-maintenance mechanisms, ensuring that it can continue to digest food without harming itself. Number 12. Despite their relatively lightweight appearance, human bones are incredibly strong. Ounce for ounce, they are stronger than steel, about 5 times stronger in terms of compression strength. For example, a cubic inch of bone can bear a load of about 19,000 pounds, 8,626 kilograms, which is roughly the weight of 5 standard pickup trucks. Bone's strength comes from a combination of its unique structure, which is composed of a dense outer layer and a porous, honeycomb-like inner layer, and the presence of collagen fibers reinforced by calcium and phosphate. What's amazing is that this strength is coupled with the ability to regenerate. When bones break, the body can repair them, often making the bone even stronger at the site of the break. Number 13. While human hair might seem fragile, it's actually one of the most durable biological materials. In fact, hair doesn't decompose easily, making it nearly indestructible by natural means. Hair can withstand water, fire to an extent, and even many corrosive chemicals. It's been found intact in ancient tombs, surviving for thousands of years. One strand of hair can support about 3.5 ounces, 100 grams of weight, and the average person has around 100,000 to 150,000 strands of hair on their head, meaning that your entire head of hair could theoretically support about 12 tons of weight. Hair's toughness comes from keratin, the protein that also makes up nails, feathers, and horns in other animals. Number 14. 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, has evolved from a niche technology into a game-changing innovation across industries. One of its most groundbreaking applications is in bioprinting, where scientists are working on printing human organs using a patient's own cells. While we're still years away from printing fully functional, transplantable organs, researchers have successfully printed structures like skin, cartilage, and even miniature kidneys. On a much larger scale, 3D printing is also being used to construct houses and buildings. In places like Dubai, entire sections of buildings have been 3D printed in concrete, reducing construction time and costs dramatically. The technology's potential is limitless, whether it's printing prosthetics, creating custom tools for space missions, or revolutionizing the medical and construction industries. Number 15. Artificial intelligence, AI, is transforming healthcare by offering new diagnostic tools. In recent years, AI algorithms have been developed that can diagnose diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart conditions with an accuracy rate higher than many doctors. For example, AI systems designed to analyze medical images, such as MRIs or X-rays, have been able to detect early signs of breast cancer with an accuracy rate of 94.5% compared to 88% for human radiologists. These AI tools are not meant to replace doctors, but to assist them, offering second opinions or helping them catch details that might be missed. AI also helps in predicting patient outcomes, personalizing treatment plans, and speeding up drug discovery. Number 16. While robots have long been able to sense touch through various sensors, scientists are now developing robotic skin that can mimic human sensations, even including pain. This new technology allows robots to detect pressure, temperature, and humidity in real time, much like human skin. This advancement is particularly important for prosthetics, as it will allow amputees to regain a sense of touch through robotic limbs. Additionally, robots with this kind of sensory feedback can be more adept at handling delicate objects or interacting with humans in caregiving roles. As AI becomes more integrated with this technology, robots could one day respond to emotional cues and physical sensations in ways that seem almost human. Number 17. Quantum computing represents one of the most exciting frontiers in technology. Unlike traditional computers, which use bits to process information in a binary format, zeros and ones, quantum computers use qubits, which can represent 0, 1, or both at the same time, thanks to a principle called superposition. This means quantum computers can process vast amounts of data simultaneously, making them exponentially more powerful than today's most advanced supercomputers. The potential applications are staggering. Quantum computers could revolutionize cryptography, making current encryption methods obsolete. They could also help solve incredibly complex problems in medicine, climate science, and materials engineering that are currently impossible with classical computers. Number 18. Imagine wearing a jacket that charges your smartphone or powers your fitness tracker. Smart fabrics are making this futuristic vision a reality. These high-tech textiles integrate electronics such as sensors, batteries, and even tiny solar panels into the fabric itself. Smart fabrics can sense environmental changes, monitor body movements, or generate electricity from sunlight. Some prototypes can even store energy, allowing them to charge devices on the go. Companies are developing clothes that incorporate piezoelectric fibers, which generate electricity from movement, meaning your daily walk could power your phone or smartwatch. Smart fabrics have applications beyond fashion. They can be used in healthcare to monitor vital signs, in sports to track performance, or even in the military to enhance the functionality of uniforms. The future of clothing is not just stylish, it's incredibly smart, capable of interacting with the digital world around us. Number 19. The kakapo, native to New Zealand, is one of the most unusual birds on Earth. It's the only flightless parrot and also the world's heaviest, weighing up to 9 pounds, 4 kilograms. Unlike other parrots, kakapos are nocturnal and live on the forest floor. Their inability to fly and slow reproduction rate, females breed only once every 2 to 4 years, have made them critically endangered. By the 1990s, fewer than 50 kakapos remained. Thanks to extensive conservation efforts, including breeding programs and predator control, their numbers have increased to over 200. Each individual kakapo has a name, and their recovery is closely monitored. Still, they remain one of the rarest birds on the planet, a testament to the delicate balance of biodiversity and the importance of conservation. Number 20. Pangolins are small, scaly mammals found in Asia and Africa, and despite their relatively unknown status, they are the world's most trafficked animal. Their scales, made of keratin, the same material as human nails, are highly prized in traditional medicine, particularly in Asia, where they are mistakenly believed to have healing properties. Unfortunately, this demand has led to all 8 species of pangolins becoming critically endangered, with hundreds of thousands being poached each year. Conservationists are working to protect these gentle creatures through increased awareness and stronger anti-trafficking laws. Despite their endangered status, pangolins remain mysterious, shy, and largely nocturnal, living most of their lives in burrows and feasting on ants and termites with their incredibly long tongues. Number 21. The vaquita, a small porpoise species, is not only the world's rarest marine mammal, but is on the brink of extinction. Found only in the northern part of the Gulf of California, there are believed to be fewer than 10 individuals left in the wild as of 2024. The primary cause of their decline is entanglement in illegal fishing nets used to catch totawaba, a fish whose swim bladder is highly valued in traditional Chinese medicine. Conservationists have been racing to save the vaquita through anti-poaching patrols and efforts to remove illegal nets. But time is running out for this elusive species. The vaquita's plight highlights the urgent need for stronger international conservation measures. Number 22. Polar bears, the apex predators of the Arctic, are facing a serious existential threat due to climate change. As global temperatures rise, the Arctic sea ice that polar bears rely on for hunting seals is melting at an alarming rate. Without ice, polar bears must swim longer distances to find food, leading to increased starvation and declining birth rates. Some models predict that if current trends continue, polar bears could be functionally extinct in the wild by 2100. While some conservation efforts are aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting critical habitat, polar bears' future remains uncertain, making them the poster species for the global impact of climate change. Number 23. Ever notice how spending time around someone in a good or bad mood seems to affect your own emotional state? That's because of a phenomenon known as emotional contagion, where people subconsciously mimic the emotions and moods of others. Studies show that simply observing someone experiencing a strong emotion can activate the same neural pathways in your own brain, causing you to feel a similar emotion. This ability is linked to mirror neurons, which are responsible for empathy and social bonding. Emotional contagion explains why you might feel uplifted around happy people or drained around negative ones. This social mechanism plays a significant role in human relationships and group dynamics, showing how emotions are more infectious than we think. Number 24. While the majority of people today dream in color, around 12% of the population dreams exclusively in black and white. Interestingly, this percentage used to be much higher before the widespread use of color television. Studies suggest that older generations who grew up with black and white TV sets are more likely to dream in monochrome, while younger generations, exposed to color TV and media, dream in full color. This shows that our dreams are not just influenced by internal psychology, but also by the media and technology we're exposed to, making dreams a fascinating intersection of culture and cognition. Number 25. Water is crucial for brain function, and even mild dehydration can have significant effects. When your body is low on water, your brain shrinks slightly, pulling away from the skull and making it harder for neurons to communicate effectively. This can lead to impaired concentration, slower reaction times, and even mood changes. Dehydration of just 2% of body weight can impair cognitive performance, so staying hydrated is key to keeping your brain functioning optimally. This is why drinking enough water throughout the day is important not only for physical health, but also for maintaining mental sharpness and emotional stability. Number 26. Ever notice how time seems to fly when you're listening to your favorite song, or how a boring tune can make a minute feel like an eternity? Music has a profound impact on how we perceive time. Research shows that faster tempos can make time seem to pass more quickly, while slower music can make it feel as though time is dragging. This effect is due to how music interacts with brain regions involved in timing and emotional processing. For example, upbeat music might distract you from watching the clock, while sad or slow music can draw more attention to the passage of time. The brain's ability to sync with music is so powerful that it's used in therapy to help patients with neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease. Number 27. Much like fingerprints, each person's brain activity is unique. Advances in neuroscience have shown that patterns of brainwaves, electrical impulses that reflect different types of brain activity, are distinct in every individual. This has given rise to the concept of a brain print, which can be as unique as a fingerprint. Researchers are developing biometric systems based on brainwave patterns that could, in the future, be used for secure identification, much like fingerprint or retina scans. The brain print is so unique that even identical twins have different patterns. This discovery opens up new possibilities for neuroscience, psychology, and even cybersecurity, as brainwave-based authentication could one day be used to access sensitive information. Number 28. Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain, standing at 29,032 feet, 8,848 meters, is still getting taller. Due to the tectonic collision between the Indian and Eurasian plates, Everest rises by about 4 millimeters per year. This geological activity is the same process that originally formed the Himalayas millions of years ago and continues to shape them today. While the rise is incredibly slow, over millions of years, it could result in significantly taller peaks. However, earthquakes can cause temporary drops in height, as occurred in 2015 when a massive earthquake caused Everest to shrink by a few centimeters. Number 29. The Dead Sea, located between Jordan and Israel, is one of the saltiest bodies of water on Earth, with a salinity level of about 34% compared to the ocean's 3.5%. This extreme salt concentration creates an unusual phenomenon. You can float effortlessly on the surface. The salt makes the water denser than the human body, allowing you to float even without trying. The Dead Sea is also the lowest point on Earth, sitting at 1,412 feet, 430 meters below sea level. Its waters are rich in minerals, leading to a booming skincare industry that capitalizes on the therapeutic properties of its mud and salt. Number 30. The dazzling display of the northern lights, or aurora borealis, is caused by solar winds interacting with Earth's magnetic field. When charged particles from the sun collide with gases in Earth's atmosphere, they create a stunning light show. The color of the lights depends on which gas is involved. Oxygen produces green or red, while nitrogen creates blue or purple. These lights are most commonly seen near the poles, where the magnetic field is strongest. But intense solar activity can sometimes make the auroras visible further south. This natural phenomenon has fascinated humans for millennia, with cultures around the world attributing different myths and meanings to the lights. Number 31. Today, the Sahara Desert is one of the harshest environments on Earth, but it wasn't always this way. About 10,000 years ago, during the African humid period, the Sahara was a lush, green landscape filled with rivers, lakes, and abundant wildlife. Archaeological evidence shows that ancient humans thrived in this region, living alongside animals like hippos and crocodiles. The transformation into the desert we know today began around 5,000 years ago due to shifts in Earth's orbit and climate. This drastic change serves as a powerful reminder of how the planet's climate can dramatically alter entire ecosystems over time. Number 32. The bystander effect is a psychological phenomenon where individuals are less likely to help someone in distress when others are present. The more people around, the less responsibility any one person feels to act, assuming someone else will step in. This was famously demonstrated in the case of Kitty Genovese in 1964, when she was murdered in New York City, while multiple witnesses reportedly did nothing to help. Psychologists call this diffusion of responsibility, where each bystander believes someone else will help, reducing the chance of anyone stepping in. Interestingly, research shows that if one person takes action, others are far more likely to follow, breaking the paralysis caused by the bystander effect. Number 33. Bubble wrap was invented by engineers Alfred Fielding and Mark Chavanis in 1957, but its original purpose wasn't packaging. It was actually intended as a textured wallpaper. The idea was that bubble wrap could add dimension to walls in homes. However, the public didn't respond positively to this use. Fielding and Chavons pivoted to see if bubble wrap could serve other functions, even considering it for greenhouse insulation. It wasn't until a few years later that IBM used bubble wrap to protect fragile components during shipping, realizing it was ideal for protecting delicate electronics. From there, bubble wrap became popular for packaging and is now a staple in the shipping industry. Remarkably, popping bubble wrap has been shown to relieve stress and enhance focus, as the small, repetitive action provides a satisfying tactile and auditory feedback. This stress-relieving quality has led to its use in relaxation products, and Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day is even celebrated annually on the last Monday of January. Number 34. Sharks have roamed the oceans for over 400 million years, surviving multiple mass extinction events that wiped out countless other species, including the dinosaurs. Their resilience is due to their highly adaptable biology. Unlike many other fish, sharks have skeletons made of cartilage, which is lighter and more flexible than bone, making them agile hunters. Their ability to evolve and adapt quickly has allowed them to withstand dramatic changes in the Earth's climate and oceans, making them some of the most ancient creatures alive today. Number 35. The Mpemba effect is a phenomenon where hot water can freeze faster than cold water under certain conditions. Discovered by Tanzanian student Erasto Mpemba in the 1960s, this effect still puzzles scientists, though theories suggest it may relate to evaporation, convection currents, or dissolved gases. When hot water evaporates, it loses mass, which can make the remaining water cool more quickly. Though the effect doesn't happen every time, it remains one of the most counterintuitive observations in physics. Number 36. While most people know leap years occur every 4 years, there are exceptions. According to the Gregorian calendar, a leap year must be divisible by 4, but if the year is also divisible by 100, it is not a leap year unless it's also divisible by 400. This rule was introduced to keep our calendar aligned with the Earth's orbit around the Sun. For example, the year 2000 was a leap year, but 1900 was not. This fine-tuning means we have a more accurate calendar year, with only minor drift over centuries. Number 37. The idea that Napoleon Bonaparte was short likely stems from a misunderstanding between French and British measurement systems. Napoleon was recorded to be 5 feet 2 inches in French measurements, which equates to 5 feet 7 inches in British units, about average for his time. The misconception was amplified by British propaganda, which used Napoleon's supposed small stature to mock him as inferior. Ironically, he often surrounded himself with guards who were much taller, making him appear shorter in comparison. Number 38. The human body's smallest bone is the stapes, a tiny bone in the middle ear that measures just about 0.1 inches. The stapes is part of a trio of tiny bones called the ossicles, which also include the malleus and incus. These bones work together to transmit sound vibrations from the eardrum to the inner ear, where they are converted into signals sent to the brain. Despite its small size, the stapes plays a crucial role in our sense of hearing, amplifying sound vibrations so that we can hear even faint sounds. Number 39. Most cats have 18 toes, 5 on each of their front paws and 4 on each of their back paws. This unusual distribution is an evolutionary adaptation that provides them with greater agility and balance when climbing or jumping. The extra toes on the front paws, combined with retractable claws, allow cats to grip surfaces more effectively, giving them a distinct advantage when hunting or evading danger. Some cats, particularly polydactyl cats, can have even more toes due to a genetic mutation, adding to their agility. Number 40. The technology we use for wireless connectivity, Bluetooth, is named after King Harald Bluetooth Gormson, a 10th century Viking king who united Denmark and Norway. Bluetooth technology, developed in the 1990s, was named in honor of the king because it was designed to unite devices in a way similar to how King Harald united his people. The Bluetooth logo even incorporates a design based on the Nordic runes for H and B, honoring both the king's initials and his legacy as a unifier. Number 41. Rats are surprisingly playful animals and even enjoy being tickled. When tickled, they emit a high-pitched chirping sound that scientists interpret as laughter. Using special equipment to detect these ultrasonic sounds, researchers observed that rats not only enjoy being tickled, but will also chase after a researcher's hand, seeking more interaction. This behavior suggests a level of social bonding and emotional complexity in rats that many people might not expect. Understanding such behaviors in animals helps scientists learn more about the neurological basis of joy and play. Number 42. Charles Osborne holds the Guinness World Record for the longest continuous bout of hiccups, which began in 1922 and lasted until 1990, a total of 68 years. His hiccups started when he was attempting to weigh a hog, and they persisted at a rate of 20-40 times per minute. Despite numerous medical consultations, Osborne's hiccups persisted. Remarkably, he adapted to life with chronic hiccups, though the cause remains unknown. This strange medical anomaly remains a fascinating case in the annals of unusual medical conditions. Number 43. Despite their hefty build, ostriches are the fastest running birds on land, reaching speeds of up to 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour. This makes them faster than many horses, which typically run at speeds of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Ostriches have long, powerful legs and a two-toed foot structure that enables them to sprint with impressive efficiency. Unlike most birds, they don't fly, but their running abilities and incredible endurance help them evade predators effectively in the wild. Number 44. Ravens are highly intelligent birds known for their problem-solving abilities and impressive communication skills. In captivity, ravens have been observed to mimic human speech, similar to parrots. This ability is due to the complex syrinx in their vocal anatomy, which allows them to produce a wide range of sounds. Ravens are known to use their mimicry skills to communicate with humans, and some can even learn to say basic words. This skill highlights the intelligence and adaptability of ravens, who are known for their sophisticated social behaviors in the wild. Number 45. The phrase blue moon doesn't refer to the color of the moon, but rather to the occurrence of an extra full moon in a calendar cycle. Typically, there are 12 full moons in a year, one for each month. However, about every 2 to 3 years, there is an additional full moon, which is called a blue moon. The name has become synonymous with something rare or unusual. While the moon can appear blue due to atmospheric conditions, this isn't related to the blue moon term used in calendars. Number 46. Purple is one of the rarest colors in national flags, with only Dominica and Nicaragua including it. This scarcity dates back to ancient times when purple dye was extremely expensive to produce, extracted from thousands of sea snails. Historically, purple was a color associated with royalty and wealth due to its cost. Even today, purple remains less common in flags and symbols, though it's popular in various cultures as a color of distinction and nobility. Number 47. The ancient city of Çatalhöyük in Turkey is considered one of the oldest and most well-preserved cities in the world, dating back to around 7500 BC. This Neolithic settlement is believed to have housed thousands of people at its peak and was made up of interconnected houses with no streets. Residents walked across rooftops and entered their homes from above. Çatalhöyük's excavation has provided invaluable insights into early urban life, art, and social organization, revealing complex murals, shrines, and artifacts that showcase one of the earliest known civilizations. Number 48. In 2006, Pluto was chosen as the American Dialect Society's Word of the Year after the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto from a planet to a dwarf planet. The verb to Pluto came to mean to demote or devalue something. The word captured the public's response to Pluto's reclassification, as many saw it as unfairly losing its status. Though Pluto hasn't remained widely used, it serves as a reminder of how language evolves to reflect social changes and cultural moments. Number 49. Human saliva contains a compound called opioorphin, which has been found to have pain-killing properties potentially stronger than morphine. Opioorphin works by inhibiting the breakdown of natural pain-relieving compounds in the body, enhancing their effectiveness. While opioorphin research is still in its early stages, scientists are exploring its potential as a natural painkiller. The presence of such a compound in saliva is another example of the body's complex chemistry and its ability to produce compounds that aid in survival and healing. Number 50. The Venus flytrap is a carnivorous plant that has a fascinating way of determining when to snap shut on prey. It requires 2 touches within a 20-second interval on its trigger hairs before closing, which prevents the plant from wasting energy on non-living objects. This internal counting mechanism conserves the flytrap's energy, allowing it to distinguish between potential prey and false alarms. This unique adaptation helps the plant efficiently trap insects for nutrients, especially since it grows in nutrient-poor soil. Dive in. Number 51. While avocados are a beloved superfood for humans, they are toxic to many animals, including dogs, cats, and birds. Avocados contain persin, a fungicidal toxin that can cause severe health issues in animals. In birds, for example, persin can lead to respiratory distress and even heart failure. Although humans are not affected by persin, it's important to keep avocados away from pets. This compound is one reason why nature has some fruits and plants that are suitable only for specific species. Number 52. One of the oldest recorded jokes, believed to be about 3,500 years old, is a Sumerian "your mom" joke found on an ancient Babylonian tablet. This humor was part of the earliest known civilization's written history and suggests that jokes and playful insults have always been part of human interaction. Ancient cultures, from Mesopotamians to Egyptians, used humor in ways that are still recognizable today, providing a window into how humor transcends time and language barriers. Number 53. The bumblebee bat, also called Kitty's hognose bat, is the world's smallest mammal, weighing only about 2 grams and having a wingspan of roughly 5.7 inches. Found in Thailand and Myanmar, this tiny bat lives in limestone caves and uses echolocation to navigate its dark habitat. Due to habitat loss, the bumblebee bat is endangered, underscoring the need for conservation efforts to protect even the smallest creatures on our planet. Number 54. Astronauts' hearts undergo physiological changes during extended stays in space, including becoming rounder. Microgravity reduces the heart's workload, causing it to lose muscle mass and alter shape. NASA studies have shown that after returning to Earth, astronauts' hearts return to their original shape, but these findings are critical for understanding long-term space travel's effects on human health and preparing for future missions to Mars. Number 55. In the 1700s, Europeans believed tomatoes were poisonous due to their similarity to the deadly nightshade plant. Rich people were especially cautious, as acidic tomatoes would react with pewter plates, releasing lead and causing lead poisoning symptoms. It wasn't until the 1800s that tomatoes were widely accepted as food in Europe, becoming a staple ingredient in cuisines worldwide. Today, tomatoes are among the most popular fruits, celebrated for their versatility and nutritional value. Number 56. Scorpions have a unique trait that causes them to glow under ultraviolet light due to substances in their exoskeleton. Scientists are still unsure why scorpions fluoresce, but theories suggest it could serve as a way to attract mates or ward off predators. The glow is often used by researchers to locate scorpions in their natural habitats, and it adds to the mystique of these ancient arachnids. Number 57. Studies have shown that music activates the brain's pleasure centers, similar to food and other essential activities. When we listen to music we enjoy, our brains release dopamine, which enhances feelings of happiness and pleasure. This reaction might explain why music plays a vital role in human culture across all societies, helping with social bonding, memory, and even emotional healing. Number 58. With over 500 million neurons, octopuses have a highly developed nervous system, more complex than most invertebrates. Surprisingly, 2/3 of these neurons are located in their arms, allowing each arm to operate semi-independently. This unique setup allows octopuses to solve problems and manipulate objects with remarkable skill, and they've even been observed using tools and displaying individual personalities. Number 59. Horses have a unique anatomical adaptation that allows them to sleep standing up. Their legs can lock in place, supporting their weight without muscle strain, which lets them rest while remaining upright and ready to flee from predators. However, horses do lie down occasionally for deep REM sleep, though this only lasts for short periods. This ability to rest on their feet is a survival adaptation that reflects their evolution as prey animals. Number 60. The village of Å in Norway and Sweden is known for having one of the shortest place names in the world. In Scandinavian languages, Å translates to river or stream, making it a fitting name for the region's small, water-rich villages. Despite its brevity, Å is a popular tourist spot due to its stunning natural beauty and is well known for its picturesque landscapes and rich Viking history. Number 61. Known as the immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii has the ability to revert to its juvenile state after reaching maturity, effectively bypassing death under favorable conditions. This process, called transdifferentiation, involves the jellyfish transforming its adult cells back into their younger forms, allowing it to begin its life cycle anew. This remarkable ability to reset its life has made it a subject of intense scientific study and has implications for research on aging and regenerative medicine. Number 62. Although giraffes have much longer necks than humans, both species have 7 neck vertebrae. In giraffes, these vertebrae are greatly elongated, allowing for their impressive height and browsing capabilities. This similarity highlights the evolutionary conservation of vertebrae among mammals, despite dramatic differences in structure and function. The giraffe's unique neck structure requires specialized adaptations to pump blood to the brain, especially when bending down to drink. Number 63. Every day, about 90 tons of atmospheric material escapes Earth and drifts into space, a phenomenon known as atmospheric escape. This gradual loss of particles, particularly hydrogen and helium, happens due to solar winds and the Earth's magnetic field interacting with the atmosphere. While this process doesn't significantly affect Earth's habitability now, it plays a role in how planets change over billions of years. For instance, Mars lost much of its atmosphere over time, which may explain its dry, barren landscape. The slow leak is part of Earth's natural atmospheric cycle and has existed since our planet formed. Number 64. Despite being one of the largest planets in our solar system, Saturn has an incredibly short day, lasting just over 10 hours. This rapid rotation causes Saturn to flatten slightly at the poles and bulge at the equator, giving it an oblate shape. Saturn's fast spin is due to its formation and composition as a gas giant, where gases are pulled together more loosely than in rocky planets. Saturn's rapid rotation also contributes to its intense storms, including the famous hexagonal storm at its north pole, which is unlike any other known storm in our solar system. Number 65. A lightning bolt can generate up to 5 billion joules of energy, enough to toast about 100,000 slices of bread if that energy could be harnessed directly. This incredible energy is due to the high voltage discharge between clouds and the ground, which can reach temperatures 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Lightning is unpredictable and dangerous, but it also plays an essential role in the Earth's nitrogen cycle by converting atmospheric nitrogen into a form usable by plants. Number 66. Ants are incredibly strong for their size, capable of lifting up to 50 times their own body weight. This strength comes from their tiny size. The physics of scaling means smaller creatures have proportionally stronger muscles relative to their weight. This allows ants to carry food, build nests, and even work together to transport large objects. Ant colonies are also highly organized, with different roles for each member, which contributes to their success as one of the most adaptable species on Earth. Number 67. Due to tectonic activity, the Hawaiian Islands are moving closer to Japan at a rate of about 4 inches, 10 centimeters per year. The movement occurs because the Pacific Plate, which carries Hawaii, is slowly drifting northwest. Tectonic shifts shape the planet's continents and ocean floors, creating mountains, trenches, and even earthquakes. This movement demonstrates the dynamic nature of Earth's crust and how the continents we know today will look different millions of years from now. Number 68. Beavers are remarkable engineers in the animal kingdom, known for building intricate dams and lodges. One lesser-known feature of beavers is their transparent second set of eyelids called nictitating membranes. These membranes act like built-in goggles, allowing them to see underwater while protecting their eyes from debris. Additionally, beavers have valves in their ears and noses that close when submerged, allowing them to stay underwater for up to 15 minutes. Their webbed back feet and flat tails make them efficient swimmers, able to carry heavy branches through water to build their impressive structures. Number 69. Puffins, known for their colorful beaks and charming appearance, have equally adorable offspring called pufflings. Puffins nest in burrows or rocky crevices, where they raise a single puffling each year. After about 6 weeks, pufflings leave the nest at night and instinctively fly to the sea. Puffins spend most of their lives at sea, only coming to shore to breed. The term puffling captures the endearing quality of these seabirds, whose population is currently threatened by climate change and declining fish stocks. Number 70. Frogs are capable of breathing through their skin, a process known as cutaneous respiration. They have thin, permeable skin that allows oxygen to pass through when they are underwater or in damp environments. This adaptation is essential because many frog species lack the ability to inflate their lungs fully and require alternative methods to obtain oxygen. Frogs also have mucus glands that keep their skin moist, enabling this type of respiration. This unique ability demonstrates frogs' remarkable adaptations to aquatic and semi-aquatic lifestyles. Number 71. Papakolea Beach in Hawaii is one of only 4 green sand beaches in the world. Its distinctive green color comes from olivine crystals, which are deposited from the nearby Mauna Loa volcano. Erosion of the volcanic rock brings out the olivine, a mineral that gives the beach its unique hue. The green sand beach is remote, requiring a trek to reach, making it a hidden gem for adventurous travelers. The rare color and isolated location make it one of the most unique beaches in the world. Number 72. When threatened, sea cucumbers can expel their internal organs through their anus to scare off predators. This process, called evisceration, doesn't harm the sea cucumber permanently, as it can regrow its organs. The expelled organs are often toxic or sticky, deterring predators from attacking. This bizarre defense mechanism allows sea cucumbers to escape predators and survive in the ocean. Evisceration is one of the many fascinating ways marine creatures adapt to predation. Number 73. Unlike most mammals, cats lack the taste receptors for sweetness, so they can't taste sugary flavors. This genetic mutation is thought to be an evolutionary adaptation, as cats are obligate carnivores and don't require carbohydrates or sugars in their diet. Since their ancestors were strictly meat eaters, there was no evolutionary need to retain sweet taste receptors. This inability to taste sweetness also means cats show little interest in sugary foods, unlike many other animals and humans. Number 74. Surprisingly, apples belong to the Rosaceae family, the same plant family as roses. This family also includes pears, cherries, and strawberries, which share certain botanical characteristics, such as similar flower structures. The Rosaceae family is known for producing many fruits with seeds at the center, surrounded by fleshy tissue, much like a rose's floral structure. This connection highlights the evolutionary relationships between seemingly different plants and adds a touch of romance to our perception of everyday fruits. Number 75. While deserts are often associated with sand dunes, the world's largest desert is actually Antarctica, which is classified as a desert due to its extremely low humidity and precipitation. Antarctica receives less than 2 inches of rainfall per year, similar to the Sahara. Deserts are defined by aridity rather than temperature, making Antarctica the driest place on Earth. Its ice-covered landscape exemplifies a cold desert, contrasting with the typical image of a hot, sandy desert. Number 76. During metamorphosis, a caterpillar liquefies almost entirely within its chrysalis before emerging as a butterfly. Despite this transformation, studies suggest that butterflies retain memories from their caterpillar stage. Experiments have shown that conditioned responses learned by caterpillars can be recalled by adult butterflies, indicating that certain neural structures remain intact. This continuity across life stages in butterflies has fascinated scientists and challenges our understanding of memory and neural plasticity in insects. Number 77. The Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world, is expanding by approximately 30 miles, 48 kilometers each year, due to a combination of climate change, desertification, and human activity. As vegetation recedes and temperatures rise, the Sahara encroaches on fertile land, impacting agriculture and communities in nearby regions. This expansion contributes to significant ecological and economic challenges for the surrounding areas, highlighting the ongoing impact of climate change on vulnerable environments. Number 78. Polar bears have black skin under their dense coat of fur, which helps them absorb and retain heat in the frigid Arctic environment. Their fur appears white, but is actually transparent. The hollow hairs reflect light, giving them their white appearance. This adaptation, combined with a layer of fat, helps polar bears stay warm in extreme cold. Their unique coloring allows them to blend in with their snowy surroundings, aiding in both hunting and evasion. Number 79. Hummingbirds have a unique wing structure that allows them to hover, fly upside down, and even fly backward, which no other bird can do. They achieve this by rotating their wings in a figure-8 motion, which provides lift on both the upstroke and the downstroke. Their tiny wings beat up to 80 times per second, creating the humming sound they're known for. This specialized flying ability allows hummingbirds to maneuver easily between flowers and hover while feeding on nectar. Number 80. Giraffes use their long 20-inch black tongues to grasp leaves and branches while foraging, often reaching for leaves at high noon when the sun is strongest. Scientists believe their dark-colored tongues help protect against sunburn. The tough texture of the giraffe's tongue is another adaptation that allows them to eat thorny acacia plants. Number 81. Sharks are remarkably resilient, with immune systems that are vastly different from those of mammals. They produce specialized antibodies called IgNAIR that protect them from bacterial and viral infections, as well as many forms of cancer. Scientists are studying shark immunity to develop treatments for human diseases. Number 82. Before they became the Spice Girls, the iconic British girl group started out as a band called Touch. The band's early concept was more focused on fitting into a standard girl group model, which didn't quite capture the vibrant personalities of the group members. According to Mel C, Cisfer's Sporty Spice, when we first started as Touch, we were pretty bland. We felt like we had to fit into a mold. The change to the Spice Girls marked a shift in identity that allowed each member to embrace her own unique personality, which was eventually reflected in their Spice names: Sporty, Scary, Baby, Ginger, and Posh. This shift set them apart from other bands at the time, giving them a more relatable and spirited image that resonated with fans worldwide. Their message of girl power became an anthem for millions, emphasizing individuality and confidence. Once they rebranded as the Spice Girls, their careers skyrocketed, with their debut single Wannabe hitting the top of the charts in 1996 and cementing their status as pop culture icons. Number 83. In ancient Rome, dropping a piece of toast into one's wine was thought to bring good health and fortune, a practice that's the origin of our modern custom of raising a toast. This Roman ritual was both practical and symbolic. Wine, while celebrated, could often be sour or of poor quality, especially for those who weren't wealthy. The bread, often slightly charred, would help absorb some of the acidity, improving the flavor. Romans believed that adding toast symbolically transformed the drink, infusing it with good health and blessings for everyone involved. Toasting continued through the centuries, evolving into a symbolic gesture that extended beyond health, symbolizing goodwill, unity, and the act of sharing a positive experience. By the Middle Ages, toasting had become a customary way of showing respect and appreciation during gatherings, marking the origins of today's celebratory toasts. Number 84. While we often refer to young animals with familiar names like puppies or kittens, baby rabbits have their own specific term, kits. Born in litters, kits are born hairless, blind, and entirely dependent on their mother for warmth and nutrition. Unlike hares, which are born fully furred and ready to hop within hours, rabbits' early vulnerability requires them to be nestled in a burrow or protected area. As they grow, kits develop their fur and begin to open their eyes after about 10 days, slowly becoming more independent. The use of the term kit highlights the linguistic diversity in naming animal young. Interestingly, rabbits are often mistaken for rodents, but they actually belong to a different order called Lagomorpha, which also includes hares and pikas. Kits become adult rabbits within a few months, marking a quick transition from infancy to adulthood, especially in wild populations, where survival depends on reaching maturity quickly. Number 85. Candles, typically made from tallow, animal fat, or beeswax, were sometimes eaten in extreme cases of famine. Tallow candles, made from rendered beef or mutton fat, were especially prevalent due to their affordability and availability. In times of scarcity, people would consume candles as a desperate source of calories, though they provided limited nutrition. Beeswax candles, while more expensive, were similarly consumed when other food sources were unavailable. Candles were not an ideal food, but their fatty base offered minimal sustenance in survival scenarios. Stories from history show how resilient people were when faced with limited resources, using whatever was available, including candles, to endure difficult times. Over time, candles evolved to incorporate paraffin and other materials unsuitable for eating, but their role as an emergency source of fat remains a unique example of human resourcefulness. Number 86. Bamboo holds the record as the fastest growing woody plant, capable of growing up to 35 inches, almost 3 feet, per day under ideal conditions. This rapid growth is due to bamboo's unique structure and energy-efficient photosynthesis. Unlike most plants, bamboo has a grass-like rhizome system, which allows new shoots to emerge quickly without needing to establish an extensive root system. Some species of bamboo can reach towering heights of over 100 feet, making it an incredibly versatile and sustainable resource for building materials, textiles, and even food in certain cultures. In addition to being fast-growing, bamboo is highly resilient, with natural antibacterial properties and a capacity to grow in diverse climates, from rainforests to mountain regions. Its quick regeneration rate and minimal environmental impact make bamboo a preferred material in eco-friendly construction and production. Number 87. Africa is the only continent located in all 4 hemispheres, north, south, east, and west, thanks to its unique position along the equator and prime meridian. This positioning gives Africa a variety of climates and ecosystems, from deserts like the Sahara in the north to rainforests in central regions and savannas in the south. Africa's vast geographic diversity has resulted in rich biodiversity, with thousands of unique species of plants and animals. This distinctive hemispheric position also impacts Africa's seasonal patterns, with some regions experiencing opposite seasons simultaneously. For example, while northern Africa may be in summer, southern Africa may be in winter, showcasing the continent's incredible geographic variety. Number 88. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar, the Roman general and dictator, was assassinated by a group of senators, including his close friend Brutus. The attack took place at the Senate on the Ides of March 15th, and Caesar was reportedly stabbed 23 times. This assassination was motivated by concerns that Caesar was amassing too much power and threatening the Republic's democratic foundations. Though only one wound was reportedly fatal, the senators' collective action was intended as a dramatic statement against dictatorship. Caesar's death led to a power struggle and civil war, eventually leading to the rise of the Roman Empire under Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later Augustus. Number 89. The beloved Cadbury flake was discovered by chance in the 1920s when a factory worker noticed that excess chocolate dripped from the machines in a unique way, cooling into thin, delicate ribbons. This accidental formation created a unique texture and appearance that became the signature of the flake bar. Unlike typical chocolate bars, flakes don't melt easily and have a crumblier texture. Launched in 1920, the Cadbury flake has since become an iconic treat, especially popular in the UK, where it's often used as a topping for ice cream cones, known as 99 flakes. Number 90. Onions contain sulfur compounds that have a strong, pungent smell, which can act as a natural decongestant. The sulfuric chemicals stimulate the body's mucus production, which can help clear nasal passages, making onions a popular folk remedy for colds and stuffy noses. Some people cut an onion and leave it in their room while they sleep, hoping the smell will help them breathe easier. While not scientifically proven, the concept is similar to using menthol or eucalyptus oil to open the sinuses, and for some, the pungent aroma provides relief. Number 91. Nepal is a country rich in cultural diversity, which is reflected in its 39 public holidays each year, the highest number in the world. These holidays include a wide range of religious, cultural, and national observances, from Dashain, the longest and most important Hindu festival, to Buddha Jayanti, celebrating the birth of Buddha. Nepal's holidays honor Hindu, Buddhist, and other traditions, reflecting its multi-ethnic and multi-religious society. These numerous public holidays celebrate Nepal's heritage and allow people to observe their beliefs while bringing communities together. Number 92. For a spirit to be legally recognized as tequila, it must be made from the blue agave plant, specifically the heart or piña of the plant. This plant takes about 8 to 12 years to mature, with each piña weighing between 80 and 200 pounds. Tequila production is heavily regulated, and only agave harvested in specific regions of Mexico can be labeled as tequila. The agave hearts are steamed, crushed, and fermented to produce the base spirit, creating the distinctive taste and profile of tequila, which has become a cultural symbol of Mexico. Number 93. Sheffield FC, founded in 1857, is recognized by FIFA as the oldest football club in the world. Formed in Sheffield, England, the club helped establish the modern rules of the game, influencing how football is played today. The club played a significant role in shaping the sport, creating a codified set of rules known as the Sheffield Rules, which introduced concepts like corners and free kicks. Sheffield FC's legacy has been celebrated globally, marking it as a foundational institution in football history. Number 94. The Caesar salad celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2024, with its origins tracing back to July 4, 1924. The salad was created by Italian chef Cesare Cardini, who owned a restaurant in Tijuana, Mexico. Legend has it that Cardini improvised the salad on a busy holiday weekend when he was short on ingredients, using what he had left: romaine lettuce, garlic, croutons, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, and eggs. He assembled the salad table side for dramatic flair, adding the signature dressing made from coddled eggs, Worcestershire sauce, and lemon juice. Over the years, this humble creation evolved into a classic worldwide, with various adaptations including chicken and shrimp. The Caesar salad's longevity and popularity reflect its unique combination of simple ingredients, rich dressing, and the story of its accidental creation. Number 95. While Prince William and Prince Harry are widely known members of the British royal family, few people know that they have a half-sister, Laura Lopez. Laura is the daughter of Queen Camilla and her first husband, Andrew Parker Bowles. Born in 1978, Laura has maintained a low profile and largely stays out of the public eye, despite her royal connections. She is married and has children, leading a relatively private life in comparison to her half-brothers. Her understated role demonstrates how some members of royal-adjacent families choose privacy over the public life associated with royalty. Number 96. The human tongue is covered with roughly 8,000 taste buds, each of which contains up to 100 sensory cells responsible for detecting flavors. These cells respond to 5 main tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. While taste buds are primarily concentrated on the tongue, they are also present in other areas, like the roof of the mouth and the throat. Taste buds have a short lifespan, usually about 10-14 days, after which they regenerate. This regeneration allows humans to maintain their sense of taste even as they age, though taste sensitivity can diminish over time. Each taste bud functions like a small sensory powerhouse, detecting and distinguishing a wide range of flavors that contribute to our enjoyment and perception of food. Number 97, Jiroemen Kimura, born April 19, 1897 in Kyotango, Japan, holds the record as the oldest verified man in history, having lived an extraordinary 116 years and 54 days until his passing on June 12, 2013. His life spanned 3 centuries, witnessing monumental changes from the Meiji era of Japan to the dawn of modern digital technology. Kimura attributed his longevity to modest eating habits, a daily routine that involves staying physically active and maintaining strong social connections with family and community members. Even in his later years, Kimura kept a positive outlook, claiming that each day was a gift. His lifestyle reflected a balanced diet rooted in Japanese cuisine, known for its reliance on vegetables, fish, and smaller portions. Scientists and researchers took an avid interest in his health, as he was one of very few supercentenarians, people who live past 110, whose longevity has been verified and studied. His unique longevity contributes valuable insights into the field of gerontology, helping researchers understand the factors that contribute to long, healthy lives. Number 98, sea sponges, which may look like simple organisms but are incredibly complex, represent one of the oldest animal lineages on Earth, with a history that stretches back over 500 million years. With about 5,000 species in existence, sea sponges exhibit a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes, adapting to diverse marine environments from shallow coastal waters to the deep ocean floor. These creatures are filter feeders, lacking organs or tissues, and rely on their porous bodies to draw in water, from which they extract nutrients and oxygen. Remarkably, sponges play essential roles in marine ecosystems, not only filtering water, but also serving as habitats for small marine organisms. Sponges are particularly fascinating due to their regenerative abilities. They can reform their entire structure even after being fragmented. This characteristic has implications in biomedical research, as scientists study their unique compounds for potential cancer treatments and antibiotics. Thus, the humble sea sponge represents an evolutionary marvel and a vital component of marine biodiversity. Number 99. The very first speeding ticket in history was issued to Walter Arnold in Kent, UK, on January 28, 1896. This ticket wasn't for the high speeds we associate with modern vehicles, but for an impressive, for the time, 8 miles per hour. Arnold was driving 4 times over the local speed limit of 2 miles per hour, a limit set primarily because most roads were shared with horses, carts, and pedestrians. The situation drew significant public attention as the notion of motorized transport was still novel. Arnold's ticket sparked debates on road safety and contributed to a growing awareness of the need for traffic regulations as automobile usage began to expand. Following incidents like this, the UK government introduced the Motor Car Act of 1903, which implemented speed limits and mandatory driver licenses, setting foundational legal precedents for road safety that we still follow today. Arnold's historic ticket marks a quirky but important milestone in the history of automotive travel and public safety measures. Number 100. In 1989, Oregon made the hazelnut its official state nut, emphasizing the importance of this crop to the state's agricultural industry. Also known as filberts, hazelnuts are primarily grown in Oregon's Willamette Valley, where the unique climate is ideal for their cultivation. In fact, Oregon produces 99% of the hazelnuts in the United States, and its growers have established a reputation for high-quality nuts. Hazelnuts have a rich nutritional profile, being high in antioxidants, healthy fats, and essential vitamins like E and B. They're a popular choice in products from chocolate spreads to baked goods, with demand increasing globally. The hazelnut industry in Oregon also supports local economies, creating jobs in farming, processing, and distribution. Designating the hazelnut as the official state nut not only acknowledges this crop's economic value, but also symbolizes Oregon's commitment to agriculture and sustainability. This small but versatile nut has, over time, become a unique symbol of Oregon's agricultural identity. Number 101. Bananas, one of the most popular fruits globally, actually come in more than 1,000 types, which can be further classified into around 50 categories. Although the familiar Cavendish variety dominates Western supermarkets, bananas are extraordinarily diverse in color, shape, and flavor. They range from the small and sweet ladyfinger banana to the large, starchy plantains typically used in cooking rather than eaten raw. The diversity in bananas is attributed to their widespread cultivation in tropical and subtropical climates around the world, where they have evolved distinct characteristics in response to local conditions. While some bananas are sweet and soft, others are firmer, making them suitable for frying or baking. However, this diversity is also under threat. Diseases like Panama disease have decimated certain banana crops, especially among monocultured types like the Cavendish. The banana's biodiversity is crucial for food security in many regions, prompting research into disease-resistant and sustainable banana varieties. This vast variety highlights not only the fruit's versatility, but also its agricultural and cultural importance worldwide. Let's begin in Egypt. Perhaps one of the most enduring symbols of this ancient civilization is the Great Pyramid of Giza, constructed between 2580 and 2560 BC. This monumental structure, which served as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, stood as the tallest man-made structure on Earth for over 3,800 years. The Egyptians built the pyramids not with slave labor, as is sometimes believed, but with skilled, paid workers. These laborers left behind evidence of their daily lives, graffiti, tools, and even bread, providing us with a more humane view of those who created these wonders. Number 2. The Roman practice of damnatio memoriae was a form of posthumous punishment where all records of a disgraced individual were erased from history. This could include chiseling their names off inscriptions and destroying their statues. It was intended to shame and erase any memory of the person. Number 3. The Code of Hammurabi, dating back to 1754 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia, is among the earliest and most comprehensive written legal codes in history. Created by Babylonian king Hammurabi, it consists of 282 laws carved into a massive stone stele, outlining rules on trade, property rights, family matters, and punishments for various offenses. This code emphasized lex talionis, or the law of retaliation, famously summarized as an eye for an eye. However, it was not uniformly applied. Different social classes received different treatments under the law. Hammurabi's code significantly influenced the development of legal thought and justice across ancient and modern civilizations, marking an early attempt to unify a society under one set of standardized laws. Number 4. The Book of the Dead is a modern name for a collection of ancient Egyptian funerary texts known as the Book of Coming Forth by Day. These texts, written on papyrus scrolls and placed in tombs, date from as early as 1550 BCE and provide instructions for the soul's journey in the afterlife. The scrolls contain spells, charms, and passwords to help the deceased navigate the trials they would face before reaching the field of reeds, a paradise-like afterlife. The texts provide incredible insight into Egyptian religious beliefs, their concept of morality, and their preparations for a life beyond death, showcasing the Egyptians' profound preoccupation with the afterlife. Number 5. Beginning around the 2nd century BCE, the Silk Road was not a single road, but an extensive network of trade routes linking China with the Mediterranean, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Along with silk, the route carried goods like spices, ceramics, and precious metals, while Buddhism, art, and technology flowed across continents. Despite challenges like deserts and mountain ranges, merchants, pilgrims, and envoys traversed these paths, enriching societies across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. The Silk Road exemplifies the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations and their enduring legacies in global trade and cultural exchange. Number 6. In 2010, art dealer and writer Forrest Fenn created a modern-day treasure hunt by hiding a chest filled with gold, jewels, and artifacts somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Fenn published a poem in his memoir, The Thrill of the Chase, which he claimed contained clues leading to the treasure's location. Tens of thousands of people searched for Fenn's treasure over the next decade, and at least 5 died in their efforts. The treasure was finally found in 2020, although the finder's identity and the exact location have not been disclosed. Number 7. Created by the House of Fabergé between 1885 and 1917 for Russian Tsars Alexander III and Nicholas II, the Fabergé eggs are jeweled masterpieces. Of the 50 imperial eggs made, 7 remain missing since the Russian Revolution, with their fate unknown. The most valuable of these missing treasures is the 3rd imperial egg, which was rediscovered in 2014, but others could be hidden in private collections or yet to be found. Fabergé's eggs are a symbol of wealth and craftsmanship, and the search for the missing ones continues to intrigue collectors and historians. Number 8. Giraffes have unique horn-like structures called ossicones, which differ from typical animal horns. Unlike the hard, sharp horns of animals like goats, ossicones are made of cartilage. Both male and female giraffes, as well as their close relatives, the okapi, possess these structures. As giraffes age, their ossicones fuse with their skulls, becoming more firmly attached over time. This is a distinctive trait among giraffes and related species. Number 9. The world's first animated feature film, El Apostol, was created in Argentina in 1917. Directed by Quirino Cristiani and produced by Federico Valle, this pioneering film holds a special place in animation history. The story follows Argentina's president at the time, Hipólito Yrigoyen, who dreams of visiting the Greek gods for advice on how to improve Buenos Aires. Although it was a groundbreaking achievement, the film itself was tragically lost in a fire, making it impossible to view today. Number 10. Between 1969 and 1972, 12 astronauts set foot on the moon during NASA's Apollo missions, making history. 2 of them, Alan L. Bean and Alan Shepard, made the journey. Bean during Apollo 12, where he became the 4th person on the moon, later turning to painting to capture his space experiences, and Shepard during Apollo 14, who famously hit 2 golf balls on the lunar surface. The other 10 astronauts include Neil Armstrong from Apollo 11, who became the first human to walk on the moon, delivering the iconic line, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," and Buzz Aldrin, also from Apollo 11, the 2nd person on the moon, who later became a vocal advocate for space exploration. Pete Conrad from Apollo 12 was known for his humorous first words on the moon, saying, That may have been a small one for Neil, but that's a long one for me. His crewmate, Ed Mitchell, the lunar module pilot on Apollo 14, conducted scientific experiments and later became interested in paranormal phenomena. From Apollo 15, David Scott became the first person to drive a vehicle on the moon, using the lunar rover, while James B. Irwin from the same mission, a devout Christian, said walking on the moon reaffirmed his faith. John Young from Apollo 16 was the 9th person to walk on the moon and later became the only astronaut to fly missions during the Gemini, Apollo, and Space Shuttle programs. And Charles Moss Duke Jr., his crewmate, left a photograph of his family on the lunar surface. Finally, Eugene Cernan from Apollo 17, the last man to walk on the moon, famously remarked, "We leave as we came, and, God willing, as we shall return, with peace and hope for all mankind." His colleague Harrison Schmitt, also from Apollo 17, was the only trained scientist to land on the moon as a geologist who collected valuable lunar rock samples. Number 11. Bees are integral to both wild and cultivated ecosystems. By transferring pollen from one flower to another, they help plants produce fruits and seeds. Their pollination services are valued at over $150 billion globally each year. Without bees, crops like apples, almonds, blueberries, and cucumbers would see a severe decline, potentially causing food shortages and rising prices. Number 12. Here are a few fun hippo facts for you. The term bloat for a group of hippos is such a fitting and amusing description. Hippos are fascinating creatures. Despite their size and somewhat clumsy appearance, they can run surprisingly fast, reaching speeds of up to 19 miles per hour on land. Plus, they spend most of their time in the water, keeping cool, but they can't actually swim. Instead, they walk or push off the bottom to move around. Number 13. Coffee's caffeine content can vary widely depending on the type, roast, and brewing method. A single espresso shot contains about 63 milligrams, while an 8-ounce cup of drip coffee averages 95 milligrams. Darker roasts often have slightly less caffeine, contrary to popular belief. Number 14. Bread is one of the oldest prepared foods, with evidence of its production dating back 14,000 years. Different cultures developed unique types of bread, from Middle Eastern flatbreads to European leavened breads, making it a universal staple. Number 15. Wilhelm Röntgen's discovery of X-rays in 1895 provided a way to see inside the human body without surgery. X-ray imaging transformed diagnostics and paved the way for more advanced imaging techniques, including MRI and CT scans, essential tools in modern medicine. Number 16. Julius Caesar's reform of the Roman calendar in 46 BC was one of his most significant and enduring contributions, profoundly impacting timekeeping systems in the Western world. Before his reforms, the Roman calendar was based on the lunar cycle and had become highly inaccurate over time due to poor synchronization with the solar year. The Roman calendar's year was only 355 days long, requiring frequent adjustments and additions of extra days or even months to realign with the seasons. By the time of Caesar's rise to power, the calendar was so out of sync that Roman festivals were occurring in the wrong seasons, creating confusion. To address this, Caesar consulted with astronomers, including Sosigenes of Alexandria, and devised what would become known as the Julian calendar. This new system was based on the solar year, which is approximately 365.25 days long. To account for the extra quarter of a day, Caesar introduced the leap year, adding an extra day to the calendar every 4 years. This innovation was critical for keeping the calendar aligned with the Earth's orbit around the Sun. The Julian calendar began in 45 BC after Caesar added 90 extra days to that year to correct the accumulated inaccuracies, making it the longest year in Roman history, known as the Year of Confusion. Once implemented, the new calendar stabilized Rome's timekeeping. The months were realigned, with January and February placed at the beginning of the year, and all months received fixed lengths. One of the notable aspects of the Julian calendar is that it retained the names of certain months in Caesar's honor. For example, the month of Quintilis was renamed July, after Julius Caesar himself, and later, the month of Sextilis was renamed August in honor of Caesar's successor, Augustus. The Julian calendar remained in use for over 1,600 years, well into the Middle Ages. However, because the solar year is actually slightly shorter than 365.25 days by about 11 minutes, this small discrepancy caused the calendar to drift by one day, roughly every 128 years. By the 16th century, this misalignment had accumulated to about 10 days, which was problematic for the calculation of Christian holidays like Easter, which were tied to the spring equinox. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar to correct this drift. The reform involved skipping 10 days in October 1582 and adjusting the leap year rule slightly, allowing only century years divisible by 400 to be leap years. The Gregorian calendar is the one still in use today in most of the world, though the Julian calendar is still used in certain Orthodox Christian contexts. Julius Caesar's calendar reform was a monumental achievement, providing the basis for modern timekeeping and a testament to his far-reaching influence on the Western world. Number 17. Sushi's journey from a preservation method to a global delicacy is a fascinating tale of culinary evolution. The origins of sushi can be traced back over 2,000 years to Southeast Asia, where the primary goal was preserving fish. This early form of sushi, known as narizushi, involved fermenting fish with salted rice. The rice wasn't eaten. It served to keep the fish edible for months. This preservation method eventually made its way to Japan, where it began to transform. By the Edo period in Japan, 1603 to 1868, sushi underwent significant changes. One of the key shifts was the development of han-narizushi, where both the rice and the fish were consumed. Fermentation was still used, but for a shorter period. Over time, the need for long preservation diminished, and the process became more focused on flavor. The most recognizable modern style of sushi, nigiri sushi, emerged in the early 19th century in Edo, modern-day Tokyo. Instead of fermented fish, fresh fish was served atop a small ball of vinegared rice. This form was faster to prepare and ideal for the growing demand in the bustling city. Nigiri sushi became popular as a fast food, served in stalls to busy workers and travelers. The combination of fresh fish and vinegared rice provided a delicious, convenient meal. As Japan opened up to the world in the late 19th century, sushi's popularity spread globally. Today, sushi has evolved further, incorporating diverse ingredients and techniques, but its essence remains rooted in the combination of fish and rice that developed over centuries. Nigiri sushi, along with other forms like maki, rolled sushi, and sashimi, raw fish without rice, are now staples in global cuisine. Number 18. Flamingos have a fascinating and unique anatomy that often leads to some common misconceptions about how their legs work. When you see a flamingo standing gracefully on one leg or walking through shallow waters, it might look like they bend their legs at the knee just like humans do. But in reality, that bend you're seeing is not their knee at all, it's their ankle. Flamingos have incredibly long legs, and their knees are actually much higher up, closer to their bodies, and hidden beneath their feathers. What most people mistake for the knee is the ankle joint, and the long section below it that we see is more like a foot. This means that when a flamingo is standing, they are essentially standing on tiptoe, and what looks like a backward bending knee is actually their ankle doing the work. It's a remarkable adaptation that allows them to wade through water and maintain balance while feeding in their unique environments. This posture, along with their elegant appearance, makes flamingos some of the most intriguing birds to observe. Number 19. In the 1880s, America was at a cultural crossroads, with urban centers like New York City buzzing with excitement and temptation. Saloons, brothels, and other hedonistic venues were thriving, particularly in popular areas like Coney Island. Enter LaMarcus Thompson, a hosiery businessman with a vision far beyond fabric. Thompson was deeply troubled by what he saw as a moral decline in the nation, and he believed that too many Americans were being lured into lives of vice and indulgence. He was especially concerned with Coney Island, a hub of questionable entertainment at the time. Determined to offer an alternative, Thompson set out to create something that would provide wholesome fun, an escape from the temptations of sin. His solution? The roller coaster. Thompson imagined it as more than just an amusement ride. It was a way to distract people from their vices and give them a taste of exhilarating but virtuous entertainment. In 1884, he built America's very first roller coaster at Coney Island, a modest, gravity-powered ride called the Switchback Railway. It wasn't the thrilling, high-speed roller coasters we think of today, but it was revolutionary for its time, offering riders a taste of excitement while keeping them far away from the more questionable attractions nearby. Thompson's roller coaster became a symbol of fun without the risk of moral corruption, and it kicked off a wave of similar attractions across the country. His invention reshaped the landscape of American entertainment, proving that thrills and ethics didn't have to be at odds. With his creation, he provided New Yorkers, and eventually, people all over the world, a new kind of joy, all while steering them away from seedier pastimes. It's fascinating to think that one of today's most popular forms of entertainment began as a well-intentioned attempt to save people from sin. Number 20. The next time you bite into a crisp, fresh apple from the supermarket, you might be surprised to learn that it could be nearly a year old. While apples in the produce section might look shiny and recently picked, the journey they've taken from orchard to your shopping cart is longer than most of us realize. Typically harvested between August and November, apples are picked when they're perfectly ripe. But rather than heading straight to the store, they undergo a process designed to preserve their freshness for months on end. Once harvested, these apples are coated in a layer of wax. This isn't just for that glossy shine. It serves a practical purpose by sealing in moisture and preventing the apples from shriveling. After the waxing, they're hot air dried to ensure they don't develop mold or rot during storage. But here's where things get really surprising. Instead of being immediately shipped to your local supermarket, these apples are placed in cold storage, where they remain for anywhere from 6 to 12 months. This storage process is carefully controlled, with temperatures and oxygen levels adjusted to slow down the apple's aging process and keep them from spoiling. By the time they finally reach the shelves, months may have passed since they were first picked off the tree. So, while they might still taste great and appear fresh, the reality is that many of the apples you see in the store have been sitting in cold storage for up to a year before making their way into your home. This little-known fact might change the way you think about fresh produce. Though they're kept in top condition for extended periods, the idea that your apple could have been picked last fall might give you a new perspective the next time you reach for one at the grocery store. It's a reminder of the incredible science behind modern food preservation, but also a nudge toward considering other sources, like farmers markets, if you want truly fresh off the tree fruit. Number 21. In ancient Greek medicine, Hippocrates and Galen were among the most influential figures who shaped medical practices for centuries. Beyond Hippocrates, who is often celebrated as the father of medicine, for his contributions to clinical observation and patient care, Galen took these foundations and developed a comprehensive medical system. Galen's work synthesized and expanded upon Hippocratic theories, most notably through the concept of the four humors, which became central to understanding human health in ancient times and well into the Middle Ages. The theory of the four humors posited that the human body was governed by four bodily fluids: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. Each humor was associated with specific physical and psychological characteristics, and an imbalance among them was thought to be the root cause of illness. This theory was deeply tied to Greek beliefs about the elements: earth, water, fire, and air, which were also linked to the four humors. Blood was associated with the element of air in the season of spring. It was thought to be warm and moist, linked to a sanguine temperament, optimistic, social, and active. Phlegm, tied to water in winter, was considered cold and moist. It was believed to produce a phlegmatic temperament, which was calm, reliable, and thoughtful, but sometimes sluggish. Yellow bile, connected to fire in summer, was seen as warm and dry. It was associated with a choleric temperament, characterized by ambition, leadership, and aggressiveness. Black bile was linked to earth in autumn, seen as cold and dry. It was associated with a melancholic temperament, marked by creativity, sensitivity, and introversion, though also prone to sadness and anxiety. Physicians like Galen believed that health depended on the balance of these humors. Treatments were thus aimed at restoring this balance, often through methods such as bloodletting, purging, and dietary adjustments. For example, if a patient had too much blood, thought to cause fever or a sanguine temperament, bloodletting might be employed to release the excess. Similarly, to counteract excess yellow bile, which could cause irritability and inflammation, doctors might prescribe cooling foods or herbal remedies to restore equilibrium. Galen's influence was profound, as he combined his humoral theory with his extensive knowledge of anatomy and pharmacology. He gained much of this knowledge through the dissection of animals, as human dissection was often prohibited in ancient Greece. Though limited, his anatomical observations were foundational, forming a basis for medical practices in the Roman Empire and enduring throughout the medieval period. The humoral theory, while ultimately flawed by modern standards, represented a significant step in understanding the human body and the concept of systemic health. It dominated Western medical thought for over a millennium, influencing not only medical treatments, but also ideas about personality and psychology. Even as new discoveries in anatomy and biology emerged, the theory of the four humors persisted, reflecting the deep-seated influence of Greek thought on the development of medicine. Number 22. In the early days of photography, particularly around the 1840s, the approach to portraiture was quite different from what we see today. Back then, people were often encouraged to maintain a solemn or neutral expression when having their pictures taken. Smiling widely was generally considered improper and even childish, especially for adults. A big, toothy grin was thought to convey a lack of sophistication and restraint, qualities that were highly valued in the Victorian era. The exposure times for early cameras were also much longer than today, sometimes lasting several minutes. Holding a smile for such an extended period was both uncomfortable and challenging, so people often adopted more relaxed, natural expressions. To help subjects maintain this composed look, a London photographer famously advised them to say prunes instead of cheese. The word prunes naturally caused the lips to form a slight pout, resulting in a tighter, more subdued expression. This posed look became popular, as it conveyed a certain level of seriousness and poise that was socially desirable at the time. The idea of saying cheese for photographs only came into vogue much later, when shorter exposure times made it easier to capture fleeting expressions. By the early to mid-20th century, smiling in photographs became increasingly common, reflecting cultural shifts that favored more casual, spontaneous representations of people. The trend of saying cheese likely began because it pulls the lips back and creates an appearance of a natural smile. In a way, saying prunes was an early precursor to today's duck face or fish face selfies, where people intentionally pout or create exaggerated expressions for effect. Both trends emphasize a controlled, stylized approach to capturing one's image, though the motivations have shifted over the decades from maintaining propriety to conveying a sense of playfulness or trendiness. This transformation highlights how cultural attitudes towards self-representation and facial expressions have evolved, shaped by changing technologies and societal norms. Number 23. The British royal family's current name, House of Windsor, has its origins not in antiquity, but rather as a result of a deliberate name change in 1917. Prior to that year, the family was known as the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, a name that reflected their German heritage. This lineage can be traced back to Prince Albert, the German consort of Queen Victoria, who was a member of the ducal house of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha in Germany. When their son, Edward VII, ascended the throne in 1901, the name passed to the British monarchy, establishing a link to his German roots. However, during World War I, anti-German sentiment was extremely high in Britain. This was exacerbated by the fact that Germany was the primary enemy in the conflict. As a result, it became politically sensitive for the British royal family to retain a German-sounding name. In response to these pressures, King George V made a historic decision. On July 17, 1917, he issued a royal proclamation that officially changed the family name from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha to Windsor. This choice was carefully made, as Windsor Castle was an iconic symbol of British royalty and history, dating back centuries. Naming the family after Windsor linked the monarchy with an image of quintessential Englishness, reinforcing their ties to British heritage and distancing them from any German associations. The name Windsor has endured since then and has come to symbolize the modern British monarchy. The change also set a precedent for royal names, as it was the first time a reigning British royal family had adopted a wholly English name. The House of Windsor has continued through successive generations, and it remains a recognized emblem of the British monarchy's resilience and adaptability. Number 24. The largest waterfall on Earth is not found on land but beneath the ocean, in a remarkable underwater feature known as the Denmark Strait Cataract. This waterfall, hidden beneath the surface of the Denmark Strait, flows between Greenland and Iceland, where a fascinating natural phenomenon occurs due to differences in temperature and salinity between two adjacent bodies of water, the Nordic Sea and the Irminger Sea. In this location, colder, denser water from the Nordic Sea encounters warmer, lighter water from the Irminger Sea. As the cold, dense water flows southward, it sinks beneath the warmer water, creating a powerful downward flow. This underwater cascade plunges nearly 2 miles, approximately 3.5 kilometers, into the ocean depths, about 3 times the height of Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall on land. The flow rate of this underwater waterfall is immense, moving approximately 123 million cubic feet, 3.5 million cubic meters, of water per second. For perspective, that's equivalent to almost 50 times the average flow of Niagara Falls. The Denmark Strait Cataract is part of the global thermohaline circulation, often referred to as the ocean conveyor belt. This massive system of deep water currents helps regulate global temperatures, by transporting warm and cold water around the planet. The dense water from the Denmark Strait eventually contributes to the North Atlantic deep water current, which flows southward and plays a crucial role in distributing nutrients and oxygen to marine ecosystems around the world. The underwater waterfall phenomenon at the Denmark Strait highlights the complex and dynamic processes occurring beneath the ocean's surface, processes that are often hidden from view but have a significant impact on global climate and marine life. Number 25. Japanese sake, or Nihonshu, is a traditional rice-based alcoholic beverage with a deep history in Japanese culture, dating back over 1,000 years to at least the Nara period in the 8th century. Its origins are likely influenced by early brewing techniques from China, though sake has since developed uniquely Japanese characteristics. Sake is central to many Japanese ceremonies and rituals, including religious offerings at Shinto shrines, as well as weddings and other celebrations. It is also a popular everyday beverage and can be enjoyed in a variety of settings. The production of sake involves a complex fermentation process that utilizes 4 main ingredients: rice, water, yeast, and koji mold, Aspergillus oryzae. Sake rice, or sakamai, differs from regular table rice as it has larger grains and a higher starch content, which is essential for fermentation. Before brewing, the rice is polished to remove outer layers that contain fats and proteins, which can affect flavor. The degree of polishing can vary, and the more the rice is polished, the higher the grade of sake, as polishing enhances the drink's clarity and aromatic qualities. Water quality is crucial in sake brewing as it influences the taste. Japan's mountainous regions, with their clean, mineral-rich waters, are ideal for producing high-quality sake. The next ingredient, koji mold, is added to the polished rice to break down starches into fermentable sugars. This step, known as saccharification, is unique to sake brewing. Koji is also used in the production of other Japanese staples like soy sauce and miso. After the starches are converted into sugars, yeast is introduced to begin fermentation. Unlike beer and wine, sake undergoes a process called multiple parallel fermentation, where saccharification and fermentation occur simultaneously, creating a more complex flavor profile. The brewing process can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months, depending on the type of sake being produced. Sake varies widely in flavor, ranging from sweet to dry. Variations in flavor are influenced by factors like the rice polishing ratio, water composition, fermentation techniques, and aging processes. Some sakes, known as junmai, are brewed without additional alcohol, highlighting the natural flavors of rice and water. Other types, like hanjozo, include a small amount of distilled alcohol, which can lighten the body and enhance certain flavors. Traditionally, sake is served at various temperatures, depending on the type and the drinker's preference. It can be enjoyed warm, particularly in colder months, or chilled to enhance its crisp and refreshing qualities. The way sake is served can also reflect regional customs and the specific type of sake being enjoyed. While more premium sakes are often served cold to bring out delicate flavors, warming certain varieties can release deeper, earthier notes. Sake is commonly served in small ceramic cups called ochoko, which are refilled frequently as part of the social drinking ritual, underscoring the beverage's role in fostering community and connection. Number 26. The claim that Scotland has more than 400 words for snow highlights the rich and nuanced vocabulary in Scots, one of the country's native languages. The Scots language, which is distinct from both Scottish Gaelic and English, has a deep linguistic heritage with many terms reflecting the natural environment, including a remarkable variety of words for snow. The Scottish government-backed project Scots Thesaurus and research from the University of Glasgow documented an impressive 421 words related to snow. This extensive vocabulary captures the different textures, behaviors, and states of snow, reflecting Scotland's varied winter weather. Here are a few examples that showcase the diversity and specificity of these words. You have the word sneezel, which means to start raining or snowing. This term refers to light, almost sneaky precipitation, indicating the onset of snow or rain. Then you have the word feefle, which describes swirling snow, akin to a light flurry that dances in the wind, followed by the word flindrican, which is used for a slight snow shower or the light, drifting snow that does not accumulate much. Next up, we have the word skelf, which refers to a large snowflake or a flake that sticks out from a layer of snow, akin to a splinter. And finally, we have the word snop, which indicates the beginning of snowfall, where the flakes are just starting to accumulate. This rich lexicon likely developed due to the importance of understanding and describing different snow conditions, which could impact daily life, travel, and farming in Scotland. The precise vocabulary also reflects how people have adapted to and lived closely with their environment. Terms like spitters refer to small flakes of snow, while blindrift describes drifting snow that blinds or reduces visibility. The Scots language itself is rooted in Old English, influenced by Old Norse and Norman French, which contributed to the diversity of words available. Over time, these terms have been passed down through generations, maintaining a close connection to Scotland's cultural heritage and emphasizing the regional dialects that bring unique meanings to weather descriptions. These words do more than just describe snow. They offer a glimpse into Scotland's historical relationship with its climate and landscape. In many ways, the variety of snow-related words showcases how language evolves to meet the needs of its speakers, particularly in environments where specific weather conditions can significantly affect daily life. Number 27. Yellow-fleshed watermelons, also known as yellow crimson, are an intriguing and lesser-known variety of watermelon that often surprises those expecting the traditional red interior. These yellow watermelons are actually some of the oldest types, predating the more common red varieties. They likely originated in Africa, much like red watermelons, and were spread around the world over time. Through selective breeding, the red-fleshed variety became more popular due to its sweetness and vibrant color. The yellow hue in these watermelons is due to a lack of lycopene, the antioxidant that gives red watermelons and tomatoes their color. Instead, yellow watermelons contain higher levels of beta-carotene, the pigment found in other orange and yellow fruits and vegetables, like carrots and sweet potatoes. This change in pigment is purely natural and doesn't involve any artificial coloring. In terms of flavor, yellow watermelons have a unique taste compared to red watermelons. While red watermelons are known for their classic sweet taste, yellow watermelons are often even sweeter and have a honey-like flavor. The flesh is tender and juicy, much like red watermelons, but with a slightly different and delightful twist that many find refreshing. They're increasingly available in grocery stores and farmers markets, especially during peak watermelon season, and can be used interchangeably with red watermelons in most recipes. Number 28. Avocados have a unique ripening process compared to many other fruits. They belong to a category of fruits known as climacteric, which means they continue to ripen after being harvested. Unlike other fruits that ripen on the tree, avocados stay hard until they are picked. This characteristic has significant benefits for both avocado growers and consumers. When an avocado is on the tree, it remains in a dormant state, which means it won't soften or mature fully while attached to the branch. In fact, avocados can stay on the tree for several months without ripening. This extended period allows farmers to keep them on the tree until they're ready to sell or ship them. Once avocados are picked, the ripening process begins. At this point, they begin to produce a plant hormone called ethylene, which triggers the ripening process. Avocado ripening typically takes between 4 to 7 days at room temperature, though this process can be accelerated or slowed down. Placing avocados in a paper bag with a ripe banana or apple, for example, can speed up ripening. This is because bananas and apples release ethylene gas as they ripen, which encourages nearby avocados to do the same. On the other hand, storing avocados in the refrigerator slows down the ripening process, helping them last longer if you're not ready to use them. For consumers, this delayed ripening process means avocados can often be found in stores when they're still rock hard. This characteristic can be both a benefit and a challenge. While it allows for greater flexibility in terms of when you want to eat the avocado, it also means that timing is crucial. It's easy to miss the window between too hard and overripe, as avocados can go from perfect to overly soft in a day or two. For growers, avocado's unique ripening process allows for better control over harvest timing and shipping schedules. Because they don't ripen on the tree, growers can stagger the harvest, reducing the risk of oversupply and allowing for a more consistent market supply throughout the year. This delayed ripening also makes avocados more resilient during transport, as they are less likely to bruise or spoil before reaching consumers. Overall, avocados' post-harvest ripening is a distinctive feature that shapes both their agricultural production and their everyday use in the kitchen. It provides flexibility and control over the ripening process, which has contributed to avocados' popularity worldwide. Number 29. While airports are crucial to modern travel, 5 countries operate without one: Vatican City, San Marino, Monaco, Liechtenstein, and Andorra. Each of these countries has unique geographical and logistical reasons for not having an airport, yet they have developed alternative means for residents and visitors to travel in and out. Vatican City, the smallest country globally, is entirely surrounded by Rome, Italy, covering only about 0.17 square miles, 44 hectares. Due to its limited size, there's no space for an airport within its borders. Instead, the city-state relies on Rome's airports, Leonardo da Vinci Fiumicino Airport and Ciampino Airport, both within a short distance. Visitors can easily reach Vatican City from these airports via taxis, buses, or trains. San Marino, one of the world's oldest republics, is a landlocked microstate completely surrounded by Italy. At around 24 square miles, 61 square kilometers, San Marino's small and mountainous terrain makes it unsuitable for an airport. Residents and tourists use Federico Fellini International Airport in Rimini, Italy, located about 13 miles, 21 kilometers away. Travelers can easily reach San Marino from Rimini Airport by bus, taxi, or rented car. Monaco, situated on the French Riviera, is famous for its wealth and luxury, but lacks an airport due to its compact size of only 0.78 square miles, 2 square kilometers. The nearest airport is Nice Côte d'Azur Airport in France, about 14 miles, 22 kilometers away. Visitors can travel from Nice to Monaco by bus, taxi, or even helicopter, making the journey in under 10 minutes. Liechtenstein is a small, landlocked country in the Alps, bordered by Switzerland and Austria. Covering about 62 square miles, 160 square kilometers, with mountainous terrain, building an airport would be impractical. Liechtenstein residents typically use Zurich Airport in Switzerland, roughly 75 miles, 120 kilometers away. From Zurich, travelers reach Liechtenstein via the well-connected European rail and road networks. Andorra, a landlocked microstate nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain, spans about 180 square miles, 468 square kilometers. Its mountainous landscape and lack of flat land make airport construction difficult. Andorrans rely on Barcelona El Prat Airport in Spain, about 125 miles, 200 kilometers away, or Toulouse-Blagnac Airport in France, about 100 miles, 160 kilometers away. Regular bus services run between these airports and Andorra, providing accessible transportation. Despite their lack of airports, these countries have effectively adapted. By relying on nearby airports in neighboring nations, they leverage Europe's extensive transportation infrastructure, including trains, buses, and well-maintained roads. In some cases, like Monaco, helicopter services are available to provide faster connections to international flights. This arrangement highlights how geographical and logistical considerations can shape travel options, while still allowing these nations to stay well connected to the world. Number 30. The world's oldest wooden wheel, discovered in 2002, is an extraordinary archaeological find that offers a glimpse into early human innovation. Found approximately 12 miles south of Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, in the Ljubljana marshes, this ancient wheel is estimated to be between 5,100 and 5,350 years old, dating back to the late Neolithic period or early Copper Age. It is now housed in the City Museum of Ljubljana, where it continues to captivate both researchers and visitors alike. Radiocarbon dating techniques were applied to date the wheel with precision. The results revealed that it was made sometime between 3,150 and 3,350 BCE, making it one of the oldest known wheels in existence and the oldest wooden wheel ever found. This places the wheel's construction around the same time as the earliest known use of wheels in Mesopotamia, indicating that the development of wheel technology may have been more widespread than previously believed. The wheel itself is a remarkable artifact, measuring about 27 inches or 70 centimeters in diameter and 1.5 inches or 5 centimeters in thickness. It was made from ash and oak wood, selected likely for their availability and durability. The ash wood was used for the outer rim of the wheel, while the oak was used for the axle. This indicates that early humans had an understanding of wood properties, as ash is flexible and shock resistant, making it ideal for the outer part of the wheel, while oak is tough and dense, suitable for supporting weight and pressure at the center. The wheel's design is also noteworthy. It is a solid wood wheel made from a single piece rather than the spoked wheels we associate with later civilizations. This type of construction was well suited for the flat, marshy terrain of the Ljubljana marshes where it was found. Notably, the wheel was discovered alongside the remains of a wooden axle, suggesting it was part of a cart. The axle's fixed attachment points imply that the wheel and axle rotated together, unlike later wheels that rotate independently of the axle. This ancient wheel sheds light on early transportation and technological advancements. During the Neolithic period, the wheel would have been an invaluable tool for transporting goods and materials across the marshes, supporting the daily activities of the people living in the area. The wheel was likely used for a two-wheeled cart, which would have been drawn by human or animal power, marking a significant step forward in the development of human society and trade. The discovery of this wheel is not only significant for understanding the technological capabilities of Neolithic societies, but also for exploring how these early communities interacted with their environment. The Ljubljana Marshes region is rich in archaeological finds, including well-preserved wooden structures, tools, and artifacts. The anaerobic, waterlogged conditions of the marsh helped preserve these wooden objects for thousands of years, providing a unique window into early human life. The ancient wheel from the Ljubljana marshes demonstrates the ingenuity of early humans and the pivotal role that technological advancements played in shaping human civilization. This artifact, now displayed in the City Museum of Ljubljana, remains a source of fascination and an enduring symbol of humanity's long-standing drive to innovate and adapt. Number 31. The cornea is a fascinating and unique part of the human body, primarily because it is one of only two tissues that lack blood vessels, the other being cartilage. This lack of blood vessels is essential to its function, allowing the cornea to remain transparent and provide a clear window through which light can enter the eye. Number 32. The idea that there's enough gold within the Earth to coat its entire surface may sound like science fiction, but it's a fact grounded in geology. Scientists estimate that if all the gold found within the Earth's core were extracted, it could cover the entire planet's surface with a layer of gold approximately 1.5 feet, about 0.5 meters, thick. This astonishing amount of gold is largely inaccessible to us, as most of it is located deep within the Earth's core and mantle, well beyond the reach of current mining technology. So how gold formed inside Earth? Gold, like many heavy elements, formed through the processes that occurred in the early universe. During the explosions of supernovae and neutron star collisions, immense amounts of energy were released, creating heavy elements, including gold. These elements were scattered throughout space, eventually coalescing into the forming Earth during the planet's accretion process billions of years ago. As Earth cooled, gold and other dense elements began to sink towards the planet's core. This process is known as planetary differentiation. During the early stages of Earth's formation, the planet was molten, allowing dense elements like gold, iron, and nickel to migrate towards the core. This is why the majority of Earth's gold is thought to be located in the core, far below the surface. Exactly how much gold is there? Scientists have estimated that there are around 1.6 quadrillion tons of gold within Earth's core. For perspective, all the gold ever mined by humans throughout history, estimated to be around 244,000 tons, barely scratches the surface of what's hidden within the planet. While there is some gold in the Earth's crust, the vast majority is believed to be deep in the core, where it's unreachable with current mining technology. To coat the Earth's surface with gold, it is estimated that around 8 million tons would be needed. Considering the amount of gold in the core, there would indeed be enough to create a 1.5-foot thick layer covering the entire planet. However, extracting gold from such depths would be impossible with today's technology and is unlikely to ever be feasible given the immense pressures, temperatures, and costs involved. Why gold is so rare on the surface of our beautiful planet? While gold is relatively abundant in the Earth's core, it is rare on the surface. Most of the gold deposits we can access today were brought to the surface through a few key processes over millions of years. Some of this gold was deposited on Earth's surface by meteoritic impacts after the core formation was completed, enriching the crust with additional gold. These meteoritic impacts, along with volcanic activity, hydrothermal vents, and plate tectonics, have helped to bring some gold closer to the surface, where it has been mined by humans for thousands of years. Even with these geological processes, accessible gold remains scarce. Today's gold mines primarily extract gold from ore, which can require processing tons of rock to yield even a small amount of the precious metal. For example, a ton of gold ore might contain only a few grams of gold. So what are the practical implications in human history? Gold's scarcity on the surface and its unique properties, such as its resistance to tarnish, malleability, and lustrous appearance, have made it highly valuable throughout human history. It has been used for coinage, jewelry, art, and as a symbol of wealth and power. The relative scarcity of surface gold contributes to its high value and enduring status as a precious metal. In recent years, interest has also grown in mining asteroids for gold and other rare elements. Some asteroids are believed to contain significant quantities of gold and other precious metals, possibly even more than what is accessible on Earth's surface. While asteroid mining is still theoretical, advances in space technology could make it a reality in the future, potentially opening up new sources of gold beyond our planet. In summary, while there is enough gold within Earth to coat its surface, the vast majority of it lies deep within the core, far beyond reach. This hidden treasure highlights the dynamic and complex processes that shaped our planet, and it underscores why gold remains one of the most precious and sought-after metals on the surface of the Earth. Number 33. In the 19th century, arsenic was surprisingly common in cosmetics and beauty treatments, despite its known toxicity. Arsenic, a naturally occurring element, was widely regarded as a powerful solution for various skin issues. During the Victorian era, people were obsessed with achieving a pale, flawless complexion, which was considered the height of beauty. Arsenic, believed to possess almost magical properties, was advertised as a way to clear the skin of freckles, blackheads, pimples, and other so-called facial disfigurements. One of the more shocking products of the time was Dr. James P. Campbell's Safe Arsenic Complexion Wafers. These wafers were marketed as ingestible beauty products that promised to clear and whiten the skin, eliminate blemishes, and even out the complexion. Campbell's wafers were advertised in various newspapers and periodicals, with claims that they were perfectly safe when taken as directed. The wafers were said to be entirely harmless, as manufacturers assured buyers that the arsenic content was low enough to be non-lethal, while still supposedly effective for cosmetic benefits. Arsenic was thought to work by causing the skin to shed its top layers, revealing newer, smoother skin underneath. This was similar to how some topical arsenic products were used, as arsenic causes cell death in the skin, promoting a peeling effect. For people living in the 19th century, without access to modern skincare knowledge, this shedding effect could give the illusion of rejuvenated skin. However, what wasn't widely understood at the time was that arsenic could accumulate in the body over time. Regular ingestion, even in small doses, could lead to arsenic poisoning, with symptoms including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and with prolonged exposure, organ failure, and death. Despite these risks, arsenic-based products were popular. Many Victorian-era people truly believed that a product endorsed by doctors or companies with fancy names had to be safe. Beyond Campbell's wafers, other arsenic-laden products were marketed, such as Fowler's Solution, a tonic that contained potassium arsenite and was touted as a cure for a variety of ailments, including skin problems and even tuberculosis. Fowler's Solution was widely used until the early 20th century, often without awareness of its long-term dangers. The idea that arsenic could be safe in controlled doses was part of a broader trend in the 19th century, where toxic substances were regularly promoted as cures or beauty enhancers. Arsenic was included in creams, soaps, and powders, as well as ingestible products. At the time, knowledge about toxicity and long-term health effects was limited, and there was no regulatory framework to prevent companies from selling harmful substances. The harmful effects of arsenic became more widely recognized in the early 20th century, leading to stricter regulations and the eventual ban of arsenic-based beauty products. However, the obsession with achieving beauty at any cost remained. Some products continued to include dangerous ingredients, with arsenic eventually replaced by other harmful substances like lead and mercury in beauty products, well into the mid-20th century. Today, the fascination with Victorian beauty standards and their often dangerous methods serves as a reminder of how far cosmetic science has come. Although modern beauty products are generally safer due to stringent regulations, the history of arsenic in beauty treatments highlights the lengths people have gone to achieve an idealized version of beauty.